Our guests today are two boys from Mackay and Townsville pursuing their passion in the four-wheel drive and touring industry. This is a bloody awesome yarn I got to sit down with the boys and have. We don't really get to see each other often, living far away from each other, but this is a story on the boys, how they got into four-wheel driving, everything they do now today, and it was a bloody awesome ripper chat. So please welcome the boys, Alek and Mitch from Locked and Loaded.
Good afternoon, I'm Alek.
And I'm Mitch.
And we're locked and loaded.
Bloody beautiful, what a way to start.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good.
Straight into it, eh?
Bloody straight, fresh off the new year, boys. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for taking the time to sit down.
No, good to see you again, eh?
Yeah, no dramas.
It's been a long time since I've seen you. It's probably
What was
been, 3-4 months since Cape York.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Since
because
I
you
went
went,
up?
yeah,
Yeah,
but you
back
did you see Ali on that trip?
Nah.
No, but I only caught in the other week just
Yeah.
before bloody
Last
New
time we were
Year's.
all together, but would have been,
Nats.
yeah,
Rocky
Rocky
Nats.
Nats in
Yeah,
April.
jeez.
That was a bit ago.
That was a that was first time I
months.
actually met you.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
What a time to be alive.
2023, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, now it's a year of us knowing each other.
It is.
Oh,
I hope you heard that.
Same, but
Yeah.
our friendship thing on Facebook came out the other day. 1 year of
Yeah.
friends. I was like, that's
It is
gnarly.
It's crazy, eh?
Incredible what happens in a year.
It's insane. Like you'd think most of us have been mates for 5+ years
Oh, it
sometimes.
feels like it sometimes, yeah.
Power of social media and
Yeah, I was
everything,
going to say, and we all met through the hobby of
cars
cars on
drives.
Instagram, basically.
Yeah.
Something so simple.
It sort of it gives me goosebumps talking about that. all the time,
because
'cause
it's
it's-
get emotional.
Yeah, no, I just like it. I love it because it's like it's our lives.
Yeah,
like
100%.
forward driving,
A
touring,
lifestyle.
making content, all that sort of stuff.
Just
It's
enjoying it.
Yeah.
Getting out there and having a crack.
Absolutely.
bloody oath. No, buddy, getting you in here today. I want to talk your lives, your stories, everything that's going on.
Yeah,
buddy,
right.
Your ventures together and
Yep.
all the good stuff that goes along with that. So, how about we
100%.
sort of go a bit with introducing yourselves and what you're doing, all your socials, and go from
Righto,
there.
so Mitch Gunn, if you don't know, I've got the gun at GU Patrol. Gunmetal grey. It's been swapped out ZD into a 4JJ1.
Yep.
Basically, it's just a flexi tourer. Seems to get a good amount of attention on Instagram, but
Yeah,
not
that it
really doing
does.
too much special stuff with it. It's just
Yeah,
I just post my content of what I do day to day life, and
yeah.
if I work on it, I post it. If I'm enjoying it, I post it. And yeah, people are just following along, so that's pretty cool.
Gain traction.
But so I started forward drive scene. So funny story, when I was Greenpeace, so what's that? It's like 18, 19.
Yep.
Got a speeding ticket. I was doing stupid speed in a slow speed spot.
Yep.
Lost my license for 6 months straight up.
Oh no.
Had a Commodore, sold that, and then because I had no license, I had the ability to save for 6 months.
Yep.
So I got my license back, bought a Ranger, 2016 PX2. Looked smick, did some mods to it, and like had the Mustang lights and the Raptor grill and shit. Looked good.
Yep.
But yeah, did a couple tracks down in Vic High Country and basically figured out pretty soon that I want to do some more hectic shit, and the Ranger is not
No.
the car for that. Like, it's a good car, actually.
IFS, heap of body panel.
Yeah, IFS,
Right.
it's made to tow, it's made to,
Yeah.
it's a like a dad car.
It's a weekend warrior.
Yeah, it's taking the boat
100%.
out to the wherever you want to go or whatever.
Kyle and his jet ski.
Yeah, that's it.
100%.
Yeah, it's about taking your jet ski to DI.
Yep.
But yeah, so I sold that. While I was driving that though, I did miss the car, like the street car scene. So I
Yep.
sold that, bought a VF SSV Redline,
Yep.
2014, schmick. Like, only had the the L77 but which is like the mix of them, which I didn't really
Yeah.
like. But yeah, so I bought that, and then while I was driving that, I also got a GQ Patrol, the 91 model,
Yep.
red and maroon, which is where I actually started Instagram
Mm.
with that car. So I bought that as TB42. From day dot, I had the plans to barrel swap it.
Yep.
So I think I drove it for about 2 weeks TV, tried to blow it up as much as I can. Took it to a paddock and just did doughies for about 10 minutes trying to get it to blow up. Didn't.
They just don't blow.
Nah, so it was fine. Went home, ripped it out, sold it.
Yep.
Sold it with the auto box to someone who was running it in a comp truck, I think.
Yep.
And then yeah, started the barrel swap, which was basically my intro to mods with 4Bs, like proper mods.
Yep.
It was like, wow, what am I getting myself into? Like, this is actually hectic.
Start hooking into it, creating your own builds off your own back and your mindset and all
Yeah,
that sort
like
of stuff.
it's not as easy as just rip it out, put it in, a couple
No.
bolts here and there. It's like, wow, got to put a car out of a Ford Falcon and a GQ. Like, once you do it once though,
Yep.
they're all pretty similar. Like,
Well, it takes one brilliant mind to think of the idea, then to do the idea and make the idea. And for one person to do that, then everyone just starts doing it. And you
Yeah,
see it
that's
now
it.
with every engine conversion and like motor build or something that's going on with
Yeah.
suspension. It takes
Yeah.
one brilliant idea to do it and then just get it done. Then everyone.
yeah, once one
does
person knows
it.
how to do it, it's like,
Yeah.
All gets rolling.
yeah, which is sick. It's good how people like
Yeah.
pass on knowledge. But yeah, so I did that, barrel swapped it. It took me, I think it took 3 months from ripping the TB out to on the road, registered,
Oh, yeah.
good to go. But that was with the help of a mob up in Townsville who helped me
Yeah.
wire it up and do like some custom pipe work and stuff. Because
Super nice.
I got a bit of the way through it, like welded it in, bolted it all up, and then I was like, shit, I don't know how to do a full wiring loom. Like,
Yeah.
this is a bit hectic. So yeah, they helped me out with that. And then yeah, barrel swap was done. 10 months later, flipped it.
Team lid skids, baby.
Yeah, team lid skids. And
Nice.
so I flipped that. At the time, I didn't have a daily, so it was my daily.
Yep.
So I flipped it, got home that night, towed it home, went to bed. What have I done? Shit, I need a car. Jumped on Marketplace, my current patrol, 2006.
Yep.
ZD30 was up for 17 grand or something.
Jeez, that's pretty cheap at the time.
Yeah, well, that was 2021
Yeah.
in Townsville. And then, yeah, I jumped on. I was like, can I come around and have a look tomorrow? Blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
9:30 in the morning, went around, had a look. Hit up for 17, I think. Offered him 14. He took it. So there it is.
Cheer and
And
can't
then
argue
since
with
that,
that.
yeah, so ZD that year. So I bought it in November. Yeah, rolled it in November, bought it in November. ZD still, I drove it all the way down to Foster for
Yeah.
New Year's, Christmas with the fam, whatever. And then back up to Brizzy, did Glassy, did Land Cruiser Park,
Yep.
did King Coon after New Year's, all in the ZD. Drove back to Townsville. Never had an issue with the ZD, so I still can't talk shit about him. But I ripped it out. I had some bloke keen to buy the actual motor for a bit of money.
Yep.
So I thought before I blow it up, I'll just take it out. He can have it, and then I'll start doing my swap.
Yeah, nice.
So now I got the 4J and chucked it in, and now I'm here.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and that was my background for four-wheel
And
driving.
that brings us to current day.
Yeah, basically.
What about yourself, Alec?
Right. Oh well. Very similar story.
Try back that up.
Yeah. It's very, very similar in a way. So yeah, I got my P's. My first car was a little two-wheel drive Triton.
Yeah.
As a 89 model. Yeah, no power steering, no aircon, no nothing. It's great.
Yeah.
That thing copped flogging of its life.
The farm bus.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
It used to chase chooks. Ended up getting rid of that. I bought myself a GQ Patrol. It was a TD42, naturally aspirated. At the time, I was probably 17, maybe going on 18 years old. Had slim to no money. That's when I was an apprentice mechanic. So I was just doing week to week, and it copped a 2-inch lift 33s. I wheeled it for a little bit. Sort of, with my job, I was working more around performance and street cars, so that was a little bit more appealing to me at the time. Very similar to Mitch. I ended up getting rid of the GQ. I bought a BRZ. I learnt how to flash tune myself. Yeah, absolute cooked car.
Just V plate.
Shout out BRZ owners. Yeah, no, like, it was a great little car. I learnt a lot from that car in regards to like tuning, everything like that. I put it on E85 myself, wrote a custom tune, and it was cool. It was good.
Yeah.
It was basic. I ended up trading that in, got myself an XR6 Turbo. That thing made 600 wheel. I built that as well. I got in a lot of trouble from the cops because I was still on my P's.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a fisting of a lifetime from them, so I ended up getting rid of that, and that's what brought me into my GU Ute that I had. That was a friend.
Ah, so yeah, is that a Nissan? Couple of
I've
Nissans.
had a couple of
That's
Cutlers.
2 patrols, no
Yeah.
cruisers.
Yeah, yep. And then I had the GU. It was 300 horsepower TD. Just a big 12mm pump.
Yeah.
Unify 18G. And thing used to go like share of shit, but once again, I still wasn't really that interested in forward driving, being a young fella.
It was a power.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just the enjoyment and
Trying to make
And-
a race truck out of a TD.
basically, yeah, it's never going to happen. So I ended up getting rid of that. I brought it down to Brisbane. That put me in my first drift car, which was a street legal A86 Corolla.
Right. Yeah.
Any of the boys that know street cars will understand what I'm about to say, but it had a 3SG beams with an Altezza 6-speed, and thing was on rails. It was a go-kart. Made
Yeah.
210 horsepower in a 900 kilo car. So you can imagine what the powder weight was like.
Yeah.
What motor was in that?
A 3SG beam. So it's a 2-litre naturally aspirated ITB. It comes out of an Altezza.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was sick. It was a really cool car. Love that. Drifted it for about a year and a half. Met a lot of great people. Funnily enough, a lot of them now I'm still in touch with and friends with. They also four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So connections through the paths. But I ended up getting rid of that. I swapped that for a Datsun.
Yeah.
Same thing with it had all Skyline running gear, RB20, all the rest. It lasted about 6 months and I got the shits. I was like, fuck this, I need to grow up. Got myself an N70 Hilux, probably the most loyal.
First
filly.
Toyota.
Yeah, that was the first. Well, Corolla was the first.
Yeah, Corolla, but like Forby Toyota.
First Forby N70. Thing was absolutely clapped when I got it.
Yeah.
The wheel bearings were stuffed, brakes were stuffed. Body, not a straight panel left in it.
Yeah.
Thing was just clapped. I got it super, super cheap. Fixed it all right up, and then
Thank you.
after that, I ended up just tidying it up. It was a good daily for about 2 years, and then I sort of got to the point where it was getting up there. It had about 250,000 Ks on it, and I decided, what do I do? Do I either pump 20 grand into this N70, do like a full build on it, custom tray and canopy, make it a reliable thing, or
Make it what you want, or
or do I get rid of this IFS leaf sprung piece of turd and get myself into something decent? And then I was shopping around for a 76, put in a brand new order through Toyota in 2020 for a Sandy Torp one, ironically enough, and
Thank God you didn't get one of them.
thank God.
You made the wrong decision.
Yeah, it happens. But anyway, 9 months out, I got a phone call from Mackay Toyota,
Yeah.
and I never want to deal with them again. But
I think a lot of people could say the same for a lot of Toyotas.
yeah,
There's not many good ones out there.
dealerships, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
They're all the same.
Yeah.
ended up cancelling my order on my 76 and jumped on Marketplace with a decent deposit and finance approved, and my 76 popped up with about 6,000 Ks on it. It was in Rocky, so 4 hours south of where I am in Mackay.
Yeah.
And I just jumped on it. Went down that weekend, picked it up, and it is what it is today.
That's it.
How'd
Yeah,
you-
it's the
how'd you
biggest
buy it?
76 in Oz.
It probably is. How did I buy it?
Yeah, like what kind of what condition was it in? Like, was it stock or?
Modified stock.
So it already had an engineered 3-inch lift.
Yep.
EFS garbage.
Oh, so it's fully engineered right now.
Yeah. It's fully
So
engineered.
it was one of those kit GVM sort of
Yep.
upgrades that
Yep. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I tell everyone, if you're going to buy a car and it says GVM but it doesn't specify like a good brand, all that shit, fucking run. Because
Yep.
it's been put in by ARB
Yeah.
and they've given it a stamp and it does not mean shit.
Basically, that's exactly what this was.
It's just coils, and they're like, yep, GVM.
Yeah,
It's
it was,
like,
Heavier leaves, heavier coils. Oh yeah, that can tow 4.5
That's
ton.
not how it works.
Yep, it was actual garbage to drive. So I think it probably lasted with that first suspension like lift kit that it had in it. That probably lasted 2 months. After that, I ripped that out. Ended up doing like a bit of a mixed bag Superior 4-inch kit. It was nothing flash. My old housemate at the time, Jesse Kidman. Shout out Jesse, fucking mad dog. Love him to death. He just gave me a heap of stuff off his 76. So his old 76 was 5-inch 37s as well.
Yep.
And it was sick, so he had a heap of little spare parts laying around. I ended up ordering some 4-inch stuff. Didn't mind it. Ran it on 4-inch 35s for a while, but never loved it.
Yep.
It was alright, but I never fell in love with it. Didn't flex enough. Didn't quite perform just quite how I wanted it to. And then within the last sort of 12 months is when I went to 6-inch. On the 6-inch 37s, and it's taken me, I'd say, a good 2 or 3 goes to get that right. With mixing it up between different leaf packs, different front coils, trialing different, shock lengths, just getting everything dialed in to a point where I'm happy, and I've finally got it sitting at a point where it performs well, it's comfortable, it can hold the weight that I want, and it does everything I need it to do. So.
You only run that lift off road, but you just change.
No,
it
it's
out.
engineered. Off
Oh,
that blue
right.
plate I bought it with.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good
yeah,
thing.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Bloody awesome.
Perfect, actually.
But yeah, that's me. So yeah, same thing. I was into street cars, and then I wound my way up into four drives.
Nice.
So,
I missed a couple of things. So when I was building all my
Mm.
patrols, I actually owned a couple of TD Utes and TD Wags and stuff.
Yeah.
Just playing around while I was building other cars. But yeah,
Yeah, nice.
I've only ever had patrols. Never had a cruiser.
Yeah.
Never had nothing. Not because for any reason, but I don't know why. I just love patrols.
Yeah.
and I'll never bag a patrol because we haven't gotten to where we're at with our
Yeah,
project builds.
we'll get
but
into that shortly. But
Yeah.
I want to ask a follow-up question on sort of pull your mic
Talk
down.
into the mic.
Um,
You're fading a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bit of a follow-up on sort of how you've grown up and how you've got into it all. Where'd you learn your knowledge from building cars and all that sort of stuff? Like you mentioned, your mechanical and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
What do you do now, and what have you done as jobs and experience to build into four drives and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, right. So I'm actually a heavy diesel, qualified mechanic by trade.
Who do you
Yeah.
work for?
I don't think you can say who you work for.
No,
can you?
probably
Or-
not, eh? But
I don't know how that works, but yeah.
basically the idea is to work for myself one day, open
Yep.
up our shop. But yeah, so I did my trade through Wodonga TAFE down in Victoria,
Yeah.
and I don't really agree with how you learn trades these days. So basically, all I was required to do was read a shitload of textbooks and do about 15 minutes prac
Yeah.
after reading the whole chapter on how to change a clutch.
Yeah.
And then you go on and you do one clutch and you're like, yep, signed off, you can do a clutch.
Yeah.
That's not right. But anyway, so that's what I did. Did my trade and then started working as a heavy diesel mechanic.
Yep.
And basically, I didn't learn anything until I started doing my own stuff.
Yep.
So the Barra swap taught me shitloads on petrol because I was heavy diesel. Didn't really do much petrols. So I learned shitloads there. And then once I did the 4J swap, again, diesel was a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Learning all different things, prices, the differences between a fuel pump for a petrol and a fuel pump for a diesel.
Yep.
Yeah, everything's way different. So I would say I'm more self-taught, YouTube taught.
Yep.
I won't be afraid to admit it. If I don't know something, I will YouTube it. And
It's an easy thing to do these days, though.
There'll
Like,
100% be a video on
Yeah.
what I'm looking for.
there is nearly, I looked up one recently. It was like changing my 79 series steering wheel. There's
Yeah.
15 videos out there. I've even got a video out there of changing a 79 series steering wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy. But if you got a problem, you just go to YouTube now.
Yeah, man,
And
like-
it's the simplest way.
It's not even
100%.
it's not embarrassing. It's not anything. If you have something that
Yeah.
you don't know how to do, and maybe someone else has done it, Google it or YouTube it, and there'll 100% be something along
Yeah.
the lines of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, well, even just forums, I think nowadays.
Some forums
Yeah.
are really good. Yeah.
Some forums are also hard to read,
Yeah.
really confusing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I know
Everyone
like
says
with,
something else, but
with Patrol Hub,
oh yeah, Patrol Hub on Facebook. That's
there's
massive.
one of the boys on there has put like every patrol book. It's basically a Haynes
true.
manual that he's uploaded to Patrol Hub, and there is
Oh really?
yeah. One of
Yeah.
my mates was showing me the other day, and it's like a
haven't seen
full
that.
subcategories
That's
and
sick.
everything. I was like, that is friggin' awesome for people
nice.
that don't know or want the knowledge. It's all
Yeah.
right there. It's all uploaded on Facebook. I was like, holy heck,
Yeah.
that is sick.
That's
right.
cool.
Or it might be TD42 talk. Either way, one of the pages,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
incredible. And I was
That's
like,
pretty cool.
just nuts what is out there nowadays that you can just
But
roll
go
into.
find the right people and ask questions. But I think we've all had the same experiences at one point or another. You've dealt with a really shitty mechanic, or you feel you've been ripped off on something that you probably shouldn't have spent $3,000 on, like a
Yeah.
hub conversion or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everyone's been through some sort of situation.
Yep,
For
sure.
the young players that are coming through now, they've got to learn that. And
But also for the young players, YouTube it and do it yourself.
if you can learn to change something, because I was the exact same.
Yeah.
It's all well and good when I'm working 7 days a week and I can drop my car off at the shop, pick it up in the Arvo, and I'm good to go. What
Yeah.
happens when I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere? And I got stuck like this when I went to the Territory a few years back. I blew a wheel bearing on the side of the road, middle of fucking nowhere, 100 k's from anything.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I might as well fucking do it.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it was only from experiences like that and doing stuff myself and just pull it apart, film it, learn how it come apart, learn how it goes back together, YouTube again, and just make sure you get every single little thing right. And you've just learned an experience that's going to get you out of the shit in a spot, and this can be referred to anything on your car, whether
100%.
Well,
you know,
yeah, unless you're
building, fabricating, everything like that.
like rebuilding an engine where you need all these fine tolerances with specialist tooling and whatever,
Yeah.
and you need hoists, you need gearbox jacks, you need all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, not everyone can do that.
Yeah.
But if you're doing like a wheel bearing, every car has a jack in it, so you can pump up one tire,
Pretty
take your
much,
tire
yeah.
off, and just YouTube and just go along with your YouTube. Get
Yep.
yourself out of the wheel bearing, because basically,
Simple maintenance.
well,
Yep.
yeah, you never know when a wheel bearing's going to go. Like
Yep.
that could be today, tomorrow, could be 4 years.
They go like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it always happens to the like unlucky people.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to do it, you're gonna have to get a tow truck for like 5 hours or whatever. And
Or-
you could just change a wheel bearing in 3 hours or re-grease it or whatever's
I
wrong with
reckon
it.
you can do them in like 45 minutes to an hour if you
Well,
know
a
what you're
patrol
doing.
one.
Yep.
Like,
A patrol one, even
Oh,
without an idea,
yeah.
you can do that in like maybe half an hour.
yeah,
Take your wheel off, take your hub off, and you've got your wheel bearing right there. You've got a
Yeah.
circlip, you've got a lock nut,
Yep.
and your wheel bearing's there.
yeah, just the simple little things. And it's just
Yeah.
learning along the way. Like as you go through that process, you'll get to somewhere where we are like now. Like you want to do like motor conversions or
Yeah.
swap some diffs out or whatever it might be. And that just goes down the line of learning. It's like monkey see, monkey do. And when you go back to saying learning an apprenticeship these days, a lot of people want to teach you off the books how to do something. But I'm a very like physical look, see, do
I'm
learner.
100%.
And a lot of people are
do
the
it,
same.
learn it.
Yep.
Because I don't want to look at it. I was hopeless at school.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think a lot of us were that
100%.
have some sort of skill like that.
100%.
But anything I've learnt and have a passion out now, it's something that I've gained an interest in and been put in a perspective of this isn't just some math quiz on a piece of paper. It's
Exactly.
real world experience.
This could help me one day. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
And
This
it's
is
crazy.
achieving
Like,
something.
I don't know if I heard this not too long ago recently. Someone's like, how do you teach math in a school today about ratios? If you told a kid at school to go learn a ratio, they'd go, what the fuck are you talking about?
Why would I need that?
And
Yeah,
if
well,
I
I
sit
need
here and go
ratios.
2 strokes 50 to 1, you'd know like that
Yeah,
what a
yeah,
ratio
yeah.
is.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and
You
also
just
you
learn
got
it.
diff gears,
Yep.
you got fucking auto transmissions, manual
It's
transmissions.
crazy.
When you're
But-
doing engine swaps, you need to know all these ratios to run. What's going to be best suited for 37?
100%. 100%. Yeah,
And
you got to
if
work
you were
all
to
that.
learn that in school, you would have no idea,
Nah.
no interest. But putting
Yeah,
it into
put
a
it into-
perspective
yeah.
that someone can learn is
Yep.
game changing.
100%.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy those little things. But
Yeah. Well, I also want to say, like, I've done both my patrol builds, my barrel swap and my 4J swap. Barrel swap was in a carport,
yep,
in like a apartment carport. Like,
yep,
didn't have a garage, didn't have anything, just had a little toolbox. And yeah, it was fine. Obviously, it sucks. Like, I'd much rather have a hoist and a shed and fans and shit to work
wouldn't
in.
we all? Yeah.
But yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you can do it in a carport. And then my 4J swap was just in a driveway, not even a roof, nothing like. And it was ZD was taken out in the driveway, and then it got sent away for fab work.
Yep.
But then came back and it was like, yeah, running in the driveway. Like, you don't need to jack it up and put it on a hoist
You
and
don't
stuff.
need a fancy shop with all
Nah.
the crazy tools, and
No.
they do make it convenient.
Oh, 100%. Like, it would have
And-
taken, if you're doing like a gearbox swap or a clutch swap, if you're doing a driveway, it could take all day. But if you've got all the right tools, it could take a couple of hours. Like, 100%
Yeah.
makes a difference, but
Shout out Blake when we dropped that gearbox in his driveway last time I was down here.
Yep.
Oh, it was funny.
Yep.
God, that sucked.
Yeah,
But it's definitely
I forgot
achievable.
about that. That was funny.
That was funny.
That was very
Yeah.
funny. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just
But
four
yeah,
big, strong
it makes a
men.
good point. Like, well, even recently, like everyone looks at where we are now and with socials and our careers and where we got to, and people think, oh, they've got all these like sheds or access to these sheds and all these places, and there's still something that we're working an everyday job for. We're paying a rent or something on it,
Yep.
whatever it may be.
We still work.
Like, Andre's the
very
exact
fucking hard.
same. Like,
yeah, I'll still
everyone-
work a full 5-day week.
Yep.
yeah,
Still pay rent.
yeah,
Yep.
I'd love for this to be my lifestyle, but it's definitely not.
Oh,
yeah.
But that's what we're working towards.
Well,
You know?
yeah. Well, let's lead into that. What's the new thing for both of you? Why do we have both of you on the potty today?
Yeah, well, locked and loaded.
We're moving to Brizzy, baby.
Yeah.
and the boys moving to Brizzy.
Well, I'm near.
yeah.
I am officially here
Yeah,
as of
Mitch.
well,
Mitch
right
is-
now, but I get the keys on Friday.
Yeah,
and,
we're filming this on Wednesday.
Yeah,
Thursday?
Yeah.
2 days away, I get my keys.
Yep.
But I'm
Yeah. Well,
just-
this is first potty of the year. So
Yeah.
This is the
no, well,
third.
happy 2024.
Yeah,
Let's
happy
go.
2024.
Great start.
Yeah, fresh start.
It's
So
only up from here. Can't get any
it.
worse.
Bloody hell.
yeah.
Yeah, so well, I'll be on the Sunshine Coast. I moved down in February, and Mitch is Northern Brizzy, so we're only really going to be 20 minutes apart at worst.
Yeah,
Pretty
so
good.
Traffic's real shit.
Compared
Maybe
to
3
what
hours.
you are now is
4 hours.
4
Yeah.
hours, but also like I'm Townsville, he's Mackay. If we meet somewhere, there's not that much.
yeah.
It's not too bad. Like Airlie Beach in the middle. We've done a couple of trips here and there, but
Yeah,
you
we've
know,
done a couple camping trips, but it's still not like
Yep.
It's not the end of
famous
the world.
spots that people want to watch. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people still want to know about the small spots and whatever, but when you see like Locked and Low to go to Fraser Island or something, it's like, oh yeah, we're going to Fraser Island. I want to see what that's like.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
100%.
Yeah.
For content wise, we got way more coming this year and over the next couple of years, so it's gonna be sick.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think you've been in the same predicament that me and Andre have been in, like 4 hours
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah,
Just trying to
100%.
close that gap, which is hard because we've got so many different things going on.
Yep.
But being in southeast Queensland, like the sunny coast, you will notice that everything social media just tends to happen around this area. Like,
Yeah.
it's just booming.
100%.
But you got all the big names like
Yeah.
for the forward driver scene. Most of the big names are here.
And creators, brands,
Yeah,
Everything.
Yeah, and
Everything's
all of
close.
our like suspension, most of them are in Brizzy, whatever.
Well,
We've got all the fabricators.
Superior's just down the road.
right down the road from you.
What the
Literally,
heck?
I drove past
Yeah.
it today. It's like 10 minutes from my house. So
Yeah. Perfect.
Which is, yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, 2024 Locked and Loaded is going to be a lot more official than what it already sort of is.
well, basically just from here on out, like
Yeah.
Yeah. Knuckling down,
we got way more. Yeah,
getting into your work, boys.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm obviously still working 7/7. I didn't really get to have a yarn before, but I'm working over the hill with BHP. I'm just an operator, push dirt with
Yeah.
dozers. That's me.
and roll Luxies. That's about it.
Yeah, I steer away from mechanical work. I just sort of stick to it on my days off. But back in Mackay, I've got the shed with the hoist and everything like that, which you'll see on my social media, which is absolutely awesome. I love it. Having the tools to get absolutely anything done
Yeah.
makes light work. But when I come down, it won't be coming with me. I'll bring
Yeah.
Oh,
the
really?
snap-on toolbox, and that's it. So the hoist is staying.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
kidding.
But we'll just buy another one. It's all
That's
right.
it.
And
Move, expand.
Anyone
build.
that thinks hoists are hella expensive, they're only like 3,200 delivered,
Which
and they're here in 3
You
days.
find them on Marketplace everywhere.
Well, 3,200. You put that against like a good toolbox, it's cheap.
Oh, that's cheap.
You can get you can get a hoist before you get a
A
toolbox.
standard, like I'll use Pro Eagle as an example. Standard jack now these days is $1,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
You buy 3 of them and you
buy
got a hoist.
3 of them, which
And you've
most
got a
people
hoist.
will have between them.
Yep.
Like us 3 right now, if we all go buy a Pro Eagle jack, we've got a hoist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'd
We could
rather
just
swap my
yeah.
wheels on a hoist.
Yeah, 100%.
So they could all just put in
Yep.
for a hoist and put it somewhere that we can all use. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
100%.
that's like a 4-ton floor plate. So I know floor plates are a bit of a pain in the ass if you're doing gearboxes, but we just hope we don't do them.
Yeah.
Well, we know, like being
True.
Toyota, we should be sweet. It's not really an issue for
they are
us.
pretty
No,
common.
no, it is. I just didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
But yeah,
you know somebody who can change a gearbox.
yeah, bring it up in Mackay, mate. I'll sort
Yeah,
it
no,
out.
I'm not going anywhere else.
But
North.
yeah, like 4-ton hoist, $3,000.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a no-brainer if you got the space and room for it. But back to what Mitch said, like I fit my 6-inch lift, and everything that I've done on my car, that was actually done on the ground before I had a hoist. So
mind you, fitting anything bigger than a 4-inch lift without a hoist is shit.
it was.
It's a nightmare.
It's using ratchet straps, high lift jacks, bricks. It's dodgy.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
It gets the job done, but
I hope my real estate never hears this, but at my old house that I lived at, I tried to use my winch off the front of my car to pull the front of the 76 up to get the coils in.
off a beam.
Yeah, off one of the beams, and like as soon as it started taking the weight of the cruiser, it was just like, "Boom!" started bending. I just went, "Fuck no!"
Oh.
But
I got
yeah,
a funny
That
video.
was funny.
I'll see if Mac lets it go over the top of this. But I got a funny video of us using
Yeah, send it through to us and I'll put it in, yeah.
I got a high lift jack out my tow bar, like where your tow ball goes into. That gap there. I got a high lift jack on max setting on that. Got ratchet straps on my coil, and we're sitting under it, and then just like the high lift jack's on a mat, ain't bending.
Safe as houses,
And then
eh?
you just see the coil, like we just under the ratchet strap, just like doing,
Boing.
and then we just look out.
Oh,
and some I don't
Christ.
know who was filming, but we look at him like, fuck.
She's sweet.
I'm happy to be alive right now.
Oh,
but yeah, that's
jeez.
how I did mine.
Yeah.
on the
That's
grass.
like backyard bush mechanics.
Yeah, 100% on the grass. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah.
not all sunshine and
Would
rainbows,
have
I suppose, eh?
would have absolutely loved a hoist.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I will, I'll be the first to vouch. Like, my hoist staying in Mackay is going to suck, but
we'll get no one.
Yeah, and that'll be one of the first things we do once we.
It'll
got
probably
a
cost
shed
you
or-
more to bring it down here than to actually just buy a new
Yeah,
one.
that's the
100%,
thing. You
100%,
need a
like-
whole fucking car trailer just for that.
Oh, and the thing is so heavy, it's not funny. Like,
Yeah.
I moved it between sheds. Within the last 6 months, it's been moved twice, and it's just ridiculous. Like, it's 4 big blokes to get on one post, sort of thing. And the thing's just, it's ridiculously heavy. But, once again, it is well worth every penny
Oh, yeah.
that I've ever spent on it. So,
Even on the way down here, I just popped into your workshop,
Yeah.
chucked it on the hoist,
yeah, we
went over every
chucked it.
bolt. And
Yeah, we just had a quick look at it before you left, and
Just for knowing that it's all sweet for the next 3,000 Ks that I'm about to do in
sheer
4 days or whatever.
convenience.
Yeah, well, you just done a big trip down south and then
Yeah,
down
went
here, obviously.
south, west, back to east, and then back up.
Jeez.
And here we are.
Covering
Yeah.
some ground.
Yeah. 4Js loved it, so happy days.
But yeah, that's us anyway. So
Oh.
locked and loaded 2024. That's what's happening.
So, what was the decision in starting that? Like starting a brand together with content? Was it just because you both had your social medias
Well, I think
basically popping off that were just like, we're good mates. We're always doing something together.
Yeah.
Let's just make a channel and progress further.
I can't remember where we were. I think it was
I think
like
it was
Rocky
Nats.
Nats. Yeah.
that we'd sort of spoken about it.
We're at
We were
Rocky
like-
Nats, and Alek had actually already started. Like
Yeah.
he had made his YouTube, and it was called Alek
Alek
Yeah, it was
Shack.
just Alek Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I had my gun at 4x4 YouTube, but
Yeah.
I'd never uploaded. And I think we just got talking, like keen to do some
Yeah.
four-wheel drive videos, some camping, some rig rundowns, some just
everything, really.
shed maintenance. Yeah, and then
Just what we're
we both
doing.
had the exact same kind of mindset and wanted to get the same content out. And we're like,
Yep. Fuck it.
why don't we
It's
just
better
do
in
it together?
pairs.
Like we're already
Yeah.
best mates. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hook in, get it done, and
at least it's way easier with 2 people. Like
yeah.
more
Yeah.
content opportunities. If someone else is not there,
100%.
you've still got someone else who can do it.
I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing that I've noticed in the last 6 months with Locked and Loaded is just bouncing motivation off each other.
Yeah.
100%.
So, like,
And ideas.
yeah, ideas is one of the biggest things.
Like if Alex suggested one idea, I'd be like, nah, that's shit. What about this one? Not that harsh, but like,
Yeah.
nah, that's shit. What about this one? He'd be like, nah, that's shit. What about this one? And it just keep getting better.
Yeah, we
of
just-
the same
It's
idea.
so constructive that instead of leveling up at 2 different points, you just go, let's go into one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's create our own
And then we
brand
just keep
business
bouncing, and it just keeps like the same idea
Yeah.
just gets better and better.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
like-
we just snowball ideas, and then it becomes whatever it is.
Yeah,
Like,
nice.
And like in terms of our ideas and what we produce, it's not quite there yet. Like
Yeah.
we'd love
Yeah.
to produce exactly what we've got in our head. Still,
Dude, I'm
kind
the
of-
exact
it's learning.
same.
yeah,
It's
still
learning,
kind of
and-
figuring that out. Plus,
Um,
we need someone filming us 24/7 for the stuff we want to make.
It is hard.
That is
and
very
that's my
hard.
biggest struggle as well. And
Yeah.
same with Andre, like we're in the same predicament. And how do you go with, like, is there one of you that's like based on like the content and editing, one with more the filming and production, or is it very shared and mixed? Or
Not
been,
yet.
It's been pretty shared and mixed so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
We've had a few chats about a couple of things in particular. Like Mitch wants to take over editing,
yep,
and I honestly have no qualms. Like I don't mind editing. I enjoy it, but I will be the first to admit that he does a much better job. His
I've done one
attention-
video and like
It was tenfold.
that
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was
your
way-
last video that you
my
done
first
by
video
yourself.
on
Yeah,
the new build, and I wouldn't say like it was better or whatever, but it was kind of more flowing and enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
It made more sense to watch.
Yep, and I won't even argue with that. Like that's 100%.
So I'm happy to start doing editing. But in terms of filming and stuff, unfortunately, we're just filming ourselves. And
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
We've got
It
exactly the
is.
same setups, really. So like,
yeah,
we ended up going with GoPros. So
Yeah.
I did have, I've always still have my big camera,
Mm.
but just the sheer convenience of what the new GoPros can do, especially
Oh,
with
it's
like the
crazy.
Pro Mod packs and
it looks
all
the
the
same,
other
man,
stuff.
like-
Yeah, and the
one
quality.
films in 5K, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yep, the
Mm.
quality's
unreal.
there, the audio's there. Like we have our little Rode mics that we wear.
Yep.
We both run exactly the same things. Mitch went out and bought a MacBook, like same as mine. We run the same program. So if anything needs to be done between either of us, it's all interchangeable.
You can both do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
even when I'm editing videos and stuff, Alek can access that.
Yeah.
Right.
So because we run with Adobe as well,
Yeah.
between like our Adobe platforms,
So I've
I
got the
can-
joint account, so
Yeah.
he can go on and
true,
be
yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, I'm watching it." Like,
So you can
how
log
about
into a
change this bit?
save and then just like
I can
Yes.
basically remote access. Yeah. So
So he can go in and change stuff. If it's like our video,
yeah.
he can go in and change what he reckons, and then I can view what he's changed and be like, "Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
better." Or
Yeah,
How about
yeah,
this?
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And like with thumbnails and stuff like that, it's really cool too because we both, once again, we're just bouncing that those ideas, that constructive criticism, and it's like, oh yeah, like this looks sick, but what about if you did like a blue and yellow? That might work better than a red and green or something.
Yeah,
you know?
it's
Like,
literally the smallest things, but
yeah,
Yeah.
we've probably spent like
Hours.
6 months of 2023. We've probably spent
oh man,
8 hours a week on FaceTime just
Yeah.
bouncing
Easily.
stuff. Yeah,
easily, and that's on a good week. Like obviously, it's hard for me being away, working 7/7, and I do rotating days and nights.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to give up my mining job and be able to do this full time. I love what I do. I love operating. I love the company that I work for, the people that I work with. I will never argue with that.
Yeah.
But just
There is a life out there still.
100%, and like
Well,
the
like
constant being away.
it's basically like, even for me, like it's just like your life is paused when you go away. It's like you
Yeah.
can't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm
You're not here.
I'm
you're not.
so
You're
restricted.
just gone.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm so restricted, and it just makes it very difficult. So
Yeah.
It's kind of the same with my job. I go away for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a time,
Yeah.
and it's just like, it's from the moment I leave my door, pause my life, any bills, any catching up that I have to do, it's just gonna get piled up for 3 weeks.
What's work is work, and
I'm gone
Yes.
for 3 weeks. I can't do anything about it. Sometimes I don't have service for 3 weeks. It's
Yeah.
just like,
nothing you can do in that situation, eh? Like,
I mean, it's the job that I'm in has definitely set me up where I am.
Yeah.
And like, I don't regret it.
Mm.
But I'm definitely keen to move on to something that I want to do and start my own kind of life.
yeah.
Yeah, it'll be mint.
I think we're all sort of in that same position now. We're getting into that spot where, you're chasing sponsors and companies and monetization, whether that comes from YouTube down the line. Because how many subscribers do you know you got now off the top of your head? I think last time I checked is close to 700.
yeah,
I think
we're
we're on.
creeping up to the 1,000.
Have a
mark
look, yeah.
with-
I'll have a
with
quick look.
YouTube.
Last time I checked, it was 800.
Yeah, nice.
We're creeping up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I've just been behind you the whole time.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm, just
Oh,
like,
really?
I'm following it, but
You just keep. Yeah, we're on 820.
yeah, nice,
Yeah.
sick. Yeah, I
So-
think I just cracked over 600 the other day. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we're on 820, but
the hardest part is if you're not uploading videos,
Yeah.
you're not going to go.
No,
Like,
it's
we've
right.
done like
And-
2 videos in the last 2 months. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes it very difficult, and like.
But we want to get videos out. It's
We
just
do.
We're not together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, if Alek's trying to get content, he's filming himself working on his car
Yeah.
in his shed. It's like,
Yeah, like I got Shorty updates and episodes out, and they're alright. They're grabbing traction, but
Yeah.
like our best videos so far, probably our best one that we've got uploaded is my 76 rundown.
Yeah,
which
right.
was
And-
absolutely chucked together. It's a 3-minute video.
Yeah, it's not much to it. It was just
Like-
like a real
Yeah.
quick sort of rundown.
So that kind of like gave us an idea. Is like people want to see
Yeah.
what we do to our cars and
Yeah.
how we've done
That's probably like still my most common question is when are you going to do a 79 rundown?
Yeah.
I go, like every time I like plan to prepare a 79 rundown, bang, something changes. I'm like, fuck.
it. You're
Or, like,
telling me.
or in like 2 or 3 months, I know I've got something big coming that's going to be better. But then when I do that, something else is coming, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I just need to like
Heck.
almost vlog every day of my life, so then everyone knows where the cruise is constantly up to. But
Yeah, my most asked question is suspension rundown. Can we get a suspension
Yeah.
talk through or whatever? So
And we
It's-
have filmed that.
yeah,
filmed
it's
that
we've
just before
tried
the
probably
meeting.
3-4
This-
times now.
It was our third time, but this one is.
Yeah, we've
It's
done
perfect.
it.
We've nailed it.
I'm editing it like tonight at the moment,
Yeah.
and it'll be out within the next 2 weeks.
yeah,
Yep.
nice.
And I think even after we'd filmed it, so our first 2 attempts, we just went, nah.
Yeah,
Like,
we
it
just watched
wasn't
it over and like
Yeah.
thought,
Yeah.
no,
Nah.
we can get better than that.
I've done
do
that
better.
with so many videos, and
Yeah.
it's just being like really like sort of self-constructive of your own
Yeah,
work.
it's kind of like giving yourself feedback. Like,
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch that.
like even my snorkel video. I haven't posted it yet, but I've watched like the first 2 minutes of it. I hate the first 2-3 minutes. The last 7 or 8 is fucking awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, what I
Shit.
got to change? Like it's just
Yeah.
little things and.
Well, also
go
you
back,
need
film
like
again.
when you're trying to make these videos and build this content, you need a best mate that's going to give you like,
Honest.
actual feedback,
Yeah.
not just be
Honest.
like, yeah, man, that looks sick, like happy days.
Yeah.
You got to get someone that's going to be like, dude, I would turn that off after a minute. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Give you
boring.
honest feedback. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you need to change this, do something here. But like,
And
yeah,
that's-
you
that's
need
the
that
good thing
constructive
about
feedback.
Finding mates in the industry that are also in the same position that you
Yeah.
can bounce off, like
That
that
understand.
that you're not essentially working with, like yourself. I call you for different things all the time.
Been
like,
plenty of times we've had
yeah,
FaceTimes.
the amount of
on little
times
things,
you've called or messaged me something about the potty or whatever it
Whatever,
might be,
yeah.
content, and you just
Yep.
yeah, right, fuck.
Oh, and it's just incredible, like the sort of not I wouldn't say community, but just mates, you know,
Yeah.
that we've got, and I love all my friends back in Mackay, but it's nothing. There's nobody else that's doing the same thing I am
They don't really
In a-
understand. Like it.
No,
No.
they don't.
Yeah.
They don't,
Yeah.
and it makes it very difficult because you try to like float ideas or bounce things off them, but they just don't. They don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
can
say
hear you in
things to mates that aren't in the industry all the time, and they love what I'm doing and all that sort of stuff, but that's not their lifestyle. That's not their passion, and I respect that because
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
they've
100%.
got their own careers, families, everything going on, and yeah, to be able to jump off, like bounce ideas off like yourselves, other boys that I know, like around here, like one of the boys, Sam, he's 5-10 minutes down the road. Fucking
Yeah.
always up there, talk to him, you go, do this, try that,
Yep.
do this, and it's just like, oh yeah, righto.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah, it's great having just that small portion of people that it's one phone call or one text message
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, what do you think? What about this?
Just a close group, eh? Like
Yeah.
yeah.
someone
having
that you
that
know
And
is
close
like
it's
yeah.
building that trust up too.
100%.
There's like, I think you would see it a lot is all the new people that come through. It's not that you don't have trust in these people. It's, do we have trust in you that you're not going to blurt out and then so-called like clout chasing scenario
Yeah, 100%.
where
100%.
we tell you something and then it goes all over the moon. Then all of a
Yep.
sudden there's a TikTok made about you. They're going,
What
the
the
fuck? I
heck?
was trying to be a nice bloke and help you.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
all of a
yeah.
sudden there's a TikTok out there
Yeah.
that calling me an arsehole because I didn't agree with one of your opinions or something.
Yeah,
Like,
I know exactly what you're
It's-
talking about right now too.
there's so much out there.
Yeah.
Yep. It definitely makes it very difficult in not only the industry that we're in, but just to try to be a good person when you see shit like that happening all the
Yeah.
time. You know, like I always strive to help where I can. If
Yeah.
I've ever got a message or, anybody can reach out to me and I'll always take the time of day.
Yeah.
As long as I've seen it, I will always message back or I'll give you the time of day where I'll give you my best advice. And like Mitch said earlier, if I don't know, like I'll do the research myself or whatever.
Yeah.
But if I don't know, I'll tell you. I'll let you know. I'm
100%.
very honest. I don't beat around the bush. I'm not going to feed you false information.
So I'm a bit worse on the socials.
Yeah.
So if you see me,
Yeah.
if you see me in person, ask me all the questions you want.
Yeah.
But I am not on my phone that often. So going through my message requests and stuff, it's hard. It's
They
almost like
are
it's
very
almost like
hard.
a second job, man. Like
Yeah.
I would lose 2-3 hours a day trying to reply to everyone. But
I could
reckon I
spend
do.
15, 20 minutes in the
Yeah.
afternoon just going through message requests and filtering out like the amount of spam ones that go in there.
Yeah,
is
the
bullshit.
crap that's in the requests. Yeah.
But
well, the hardest
just
thing is the
going
same
through
question.
yeah.
It's like the classic, what lifting tires, whatever. It's
Well,
like if
there's-
I reply to every single one that asks that question, oh my god.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, by the time this episode comes out, it's only just made official. So a new sponsor for the potty, and that's my 4x4. Is
Yep.
like a resume for your car.
Yeah, right.
So it's like you put in
I've
every
seen that, I
single
think that.
detail of your car, where you bought your wheels from.
Is that a website?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you put
they
all
have
like
reached out to me.
photos, everything, and
And people can just go through and see your whole
yeah,
rig
so you
rundown.
just put a
basically.
link in your bio, and
Yep.
if they're asking, and you can save that link, send it to them, and just go, this is the link and the resume to my car. When you change stuff, why you've changed stuff, is there a reason why you've changed it, what power you're running, who's done the tuning,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. And I was like, this is such a brilliant idea that
So simple, eh?
not enough people are utilising. So
Yeah, they reached out to me and I was like, this is a sick idea. But
Yeah.
honestly, I have not had the time yet. Like
yeah,
writing a resume about your car, there's a lot of information. So
I've actually got it all saved in my notes because
Yeah.
because I'm that guy that replies to the messages. I'm like
Yeah.
Mitch. I have everything.
I'll
all my,
reply to messages, but
yeah.
Well,
I just don't go through them often.
Yeah. Well, I get it all the time as
If
well.
I see them, I'm replying.
Yeah. I get the 70 series boys that go, oh my God, how do you get it to flex?
Yeah.
Well,
It doesn't.
it is a brick.
But at the end of the day, Flex doesn't come with off-the-shelf kits.
Well, that's the other thing. Everyone
And-
asks questions like, how's the 4J, blah, blah,
Yeah,
your long arms are sick, blah, 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 whatever. Like, oh, so is that just bolt in? No.
no,
Yeah, no.
no,
You can't just do this with, like, no idea.
yeah,
I'm not saying people don't give it a crack, but, like, you got to have some sort of an idea on what you're trying to achieve. Like, you can't just go get some random... Like, you can't just go buy Alek's front suspension setup and be like, this is sick, it's going to flex.
yeah.
You got to do the whole thing. Like, you
Well,
gotta
yeah,
do,
yeah.
Especially in our
Arms
cars,
and-
there's little things you got to think about that add up over time. So you got all your extended brake lines,
Exactly, that's
ABS
what I'm talking
lines,
about, like,
all your sensors,
exactly what I'm
different
talking
things
about.
like
Yeah.
that.
They
Even
go
go chuck-
Breathers again.
Yeah, you
like-
can chuck coils and shocks in.
Yeah,
It's not going to flex. You need arms. You can
Yeah.
you can get
So
arms and then still
many-
you can flex it up and you're gonna snap lines. Like,
And
you need
longer shocks to suit up and down travel.
you need
all
bump
of-
stops.
Well,
you
yeah,
need
bump stops is the
lines.
biggest thing.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, people don't understand bump stops.
Yeah.
So bump stops help with up travel as well as like down travel. So if
Yeah.
you're flexing, I forget the word, but
Under
this side-
articulation.
yeah, articulation. This side will go up, and if it hits a bump stop,
Yeah.
it's going to start articulating up, and this
Yeah.
one will come down further. Whereas
Yeah.
this one just can keep going up. It's going to smash your guard.
Yeah,
And
chew out panels,
Yeah.
break stuff. And then that goes for the same as jumping cars and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Having clearances, bumps, all that sort of stuff.
it's the same with restricting flex as well. Like
yeah.
if you got bump stops that are too big or whatever, it's going to hit that and it's going to restrict your down travel because it's not good. You don't have up travel. Like,
Yeah. It's just having a well set up car, especially to weights and situations of the car, like lift, tyres, everything, shocks.
yeah, it's all
shock
about
length.
it's all about research, really. Like,
Yeah.
understandably, people try and ask questions, and sometimes they don't get answered. But
Yeah.
it's all ask the questions and hopefully get an answer. So
Yeah. Exactly.
But- my current setup is off trial and error. Like I've had a couple different shocks, a couple different coils,
That is
Until-
my biggest thing.
until
Trial
I
and error.
found
Yeah.
the setup that I'm like, this is sick. This
Yeah.
is good.
Look
Yeah.
at Andre. He's bloody
Yeah.
king
He
for
is
that.
the trial
Bloody
and error
hell.
king.
He just builds and does whatever he
shocking
wants.
for
And I think it's very difficult if you're trying to do something that nobody else has done. Like I knew for me with the 76, there was not a single, but I can probably still say this now, that there's still not a single person in Australia that's done what I've done to my car in terms of 4 or 5 different lift kits trying to get it right.
Yeah.
I
And
know
I've still
I
never
haven't done.
seen another 76 drop 37 below a seal. So
No,
No.
and
There was that one over in WA on like 40s. Horrible geometry on it.
oh,
though.
he was still running stock arms.
Yeah.
He's in one of the
Yeah.
76 group chats. Like the thing is just an absolute death trap on wheels. I'm not going to go into that, but if you know the
Yeah.
car, you know who I'm talking about. And that thing now has been very well defected and doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I'll show you later.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
no, I think it's
Yeah.
something else.
Anyway, but just doing things properly, I think, is the biggest thing, and it's very expensive. Well, you know what it's cost to do suspension on a 70 series. Cruiser taxes through
Well,
the freaking
mine's
roof,
probably the perfect example of a bolt-in kit that's sat ready to go.
and it works.
Yeah,
It's-
J-Max.
But it's
Yeah.
it's built for a purpose.
Yeah.
It's not built to go to Glasshouse.
and it's
No.
also not. Yeah, it's not built for a mall crawler. Like if you're paying that much, you want to use it.
Oh,
'Cause it
yeah.
is-
but some people are like it's
Oh,
just
100%.
sitting around town in a shop.
Yeah,
ute
like that
and-
Big Mac bloke. I've never seen him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wanker.
Never actually seen him wheel.
No, he's useless
But yeah,
Saturday.
no, and it all comes down to whatever you want to
Yeah.
set your car up for. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Because
100%.
that's my first response to every question that goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, what should I do to my 76
What's
that
the
I'm buying?"
first
It's
mod
like,
that I should do? It's
yeah, it's like, well,
What do you wanna
what
do?
do you want to do with it? What
Yeah.
do you want to go wheel it? Do you want to take it through the telly track and do every hard line you can, or do you want to take it onto Fraser and just be a weekend warrior? Like, how do you want to set this up?
Yeah.
Because, you know,
everything's different, eh?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's like getting asked, like, is it worth running Treps as like daily tyres? Hell no.
Yeah,
Well,
well, absolutely
that's
not.
If
You
you,
don't
want to
need
get
to run
to
Treps
70
anyway.
80 Ks when they, like, you put a 20,000 Ks on them, they go out of balance. You want to get to 70 80 Ks an hour on the highway every single day. Like, that's what you got to deal with. Like,
Yeah.
you just got to be prepared for it. And
Yeah, it is what it is.
you want a nice driving truck that's just going to hit the road every day and do what you need to do, leave it stock.
Pretty
It's
well, yeah.
the simplest
Well, yeah,
way to
basically
say it.
just any car 2-inch lift 33s. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Keep it
you're
keep
done.
it simple.
That's going to take you where you want to go.
Yep. If you want something comfortable that's gonna turnkey get you where you want to go, that's basic.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, well, I was going to say you can get to Cape with 2-inch 33s. You can get to Cape in a stock Pajero.
You can
so-
get to Cape in a stock Pajero with 7 blokes carrying 500 kilos on the roof.
With the
It will do
deadliest paint job
So it's
you've
probably
ever
being
seen.
lowered,
yeah.
if anything,
And no lockers.
Yeah, yeah.
and nothing.
No, that's a yeah. Shout out the budget build.
Mate, that,
Still exists, still going strong.
mate, that thing is going hard.
She's a loyal
It's just a
thing.
parts car anyway.
Jumped it the other day.
So snapped in half.
Oh, it's running rough. It's
Yeah.
definitely running rough. I want to ask you biggest fails and fuck ups.
Oh, you can go first. I've got to think about this. one.
Mine, I've got nothing too exciting or crazy, but the only one that really come to mind, because we were umming and ahhing about this earlier, my old GU Patrol that I had, it blew a diff twice. The first time I was, I don't know, keeping it top of third gear, jumping it,
Yeah.
got a little bit excited, let the clutch pedal out early, it bound up and just exploded a diff.
Perfect.
And then the second time, I don't know whether this was too much power or whether the diff that I'd put in the preload on the bearing was
wasn't
never set
rebuilt
properly.
right.
I'm not sure. But I just got the pumpkin and just, like, I had a complete centre, just put it straight in and off I went sort of thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know the condition of it or
The history or whatever.
Yeah. And anyway, when I was bringing that patrol down to Brisbane from Mackay, which is about a 12-hour drive for those that don't know, I got to Gin at about 2:30 in the morning, and yeah, that diff blew as well. And I had to pull the rear tail shaft out with no tools. I was relying on a few pig gunners that had a shifter about the size of an iPhone.
Yeah.
And I got the tail shaft out and took it down to Brisbane in 2-wheel drive. That's
Nice.
Perfect.
That was
Bit of a stint.
100% more crawling. That was no off-road bitumen.
Yeah.
Everything else I've always been pretty...
No big panel damage, buddy. Tell us about the
Nothing that's-
last diff you done.
Oh, well, yes. Springs 4x4 park, our weekend just gone. Trying to get a GU patrol out of the bottom of a gully. Shout out Kaya, she blew a turbo up. Not her fault, but yeah, it was just a time and place sort of thing. Shit spot for it to go. And I've gone to spin around. Skylar was actually driving. Just gone to spin around to like set the winch
So
up.
it's Skylar's fault.
Skylar broke it.
No, I definitely blew the diff. But setting it up, and I just said, just reverse. And she's like, no, it's being weird. And I was like, whatever, get out. I jumped in, I went to put it in reverse, and then I blew something up. At first, I thought it was the hub. I haven't actually ripped it apart to have a good look yet. I've swapped the hub. Definitely wasn't the auto locking hub, so I'm thinking CV.
Yeah.
I don't
should
know.
be.
I've done a little bit of mechanical diagnosis. I'm not going to get into it too deep, but I'm assuming
Yeah.
it's probably the CV. So yeah.
Hopefully.
So not a diff.
Hopefully, yeah, not a diff, but yeah, but I don't know. I won't know till I get home.
Well, if you can still engage it, that's another one. If you can still engage locker and it's spinning one side, you know it's a CV.
Yeah, well,
It's probably
I've
the easiest way to examine, but
yeah, I've still got 4-wheel drive in a straight line, not too bad. And as soon as I start to turn, it's clicking pretty hectic.
So basically CV. Yeah.
CV.
Yeah.
That's
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, yeah, that's the most recent damage, but that wasn't too bad. That
Yeah.
was not even. I'd already made it up the hill. It was me just trying to do a recovery and then reverse as a weak link for cruisers, as we all know.
So in other words, you've gotten away pretty easy.
Yeah, I definitely got out of it. Quite lucky. Yep. What about you?
I think mine's also a diff.
What about the
What about
whole
the
car that you
rollover?
rode off?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all that happened,
Let's
dude.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest fuck up.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, we've already.
So I rolled a car on a gravel road.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't need to go into details on that, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
apart from that, it's probably the diff at Rocky Nats last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That,
Oh, well, last year now, but yeah.
Yeah.
2023 Rocky Nats.
yeah.
How did that happen?
So I drove Townsville to Mackay, went to pick up Alek and Rossi to take them to Rocky Nats also.
Yeah.
Except that Alek wasn't actually there.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to be there.
So yeah, picked them up. For some reason went to their shed and somehow got roped into doing a shed skid.
Well, it wasn't
Bulk
much
trans-
roping.
Well, no, there wasn't really. I was like, yeah, that's a sick idea.
Yeah, let's do
There
it.
was a set of Falcon tyres there.
Yeah.
Mad. Bulk transmission fluid. Loved the skid. All good. Got some cool photos, cool videos. Drove back to Alex. Just as I pulled up to Alex, like just at the driveway, I heard
We
this.
noticed that noise.
Yeah, I heard like a dunk dunk dunk.
Yeah.
But it happened for like 5 seconds and then pissed off. And I was like, not
was
gonna worry
weird.
about it.
Yeah.
Might have been like some weird exhaust rattle or something.
yeah.
Pulled up for the night, slept, whatever. Drove to Rocky Nats the next day. Drove fine for 4 hours.
Yeah.
First set of lights in Rocky, red light, stopped. Went to take off after that, and it was just dunk, 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 dunk the whole way.
Yep.
Yeah.
And straight away, I was like, yeah, that's a diff.
It was like a stop start. It was so weird.
Yeah.
Strangest
Once
thing
you've
ever.
done one, you know.
You
Oh,
know, yeah.
I could tell it was diff, didn't want it to be a diff, so we played around the tail shaft.
Oh yeah.
Kind
that's
of,
right.
hoped that it was just the splines in the tail shaft chewed
Yeah.
out, but it wasn't.
No.
And then got straight on Instagram, found a 3.9, which was 3.9 ratio, which is the wrong diff. So I had no forward drive for the weekend, but
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah.
But
so
didn't
yeah,
matter.
chucked a 3.9 in. Still did Rocky Nats, did the display, drove back to Townsville, and then just rebuilt the old diff.
Yeah.
But even if I didn't find that spare diff, I could have just taken the tail shaft out and drove home in front wheel drive. But
Yeah. Not what you want to be doing
nah, I
for
didn't
4 or
want to do
5
that.
hours. Like,
Nah,
No.
not a chance.
Easy. Oh, let's jump into some of the Q&As you got off Instagrams.
Oh, do
Alright,
we have to
yeah.
answer them honestly?
Yeah.
Well,
No, most of them are
and
right.
some of these you know how we'll go with them. But
Yeah.
the one everyone wants to know, and this
Oh.
goes universally across everything with social
It's
media,
all that
YouTube.
anyone wants to know.
Yeah, and it's
like
I don't know if people are just trying to compare themselves or whatever it might be. But
I think people just want to know
Yeah.
they want to hear the answer is lower than they think. Like, oh yeah, sick, I
or
can do that.
way more, or
Yeah.
who knows. But yeah, how much do the builds cost? That's what they're asking.
Yeah.
Well, I stopped count at 120 grand, and I think I'm well over 140.
But
Yeah,
how
for
much did your
76.
car cost?
85 grand to buy. So
Pretty good.
Yeah,
So you're looking at like up to 50 grand in mods.
easily. But that includes everything at cost price, I reckon. I haven't paid cost price for everything.
But also you haven't really you've done majority of that yourself too.
Yeah, so
Like
labour
if you're looking at labour, you're doubling it.
Yeah.
through the roof. Yeah. So a lot of mine's all been done myself, but there's nothing that hasn't been unturned on my car in a sense that from a stock 76, I've got everything. I've got everything that I need to be a turnkey tourer. So
Yeah, and that's the other one. A big one too is when you work with brands, a lot of these items they're essentially like in a product endorsement or vice versa, but they don't come free. There's a return on that investment for that brand, and it's advertising,
Yep.
moving content, sales, everything like that. And it builds off already being a creator doing good content first.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
It's-
What do you reckon
and
yours
it-
has cost?
Yeah, so I stopped counting at 80,
Yeah.
which that's 60 grand over what the car cost me originally.
Yep.
But again, that doesn't include like selling the old motor, selling all the stock parts that I've taken out of it. So
Yeah, making your money back off that GU.
I reckon you're looking at between 80 and 100 is what it owes me.
Yeah.
But again, like that's no labour. I've only ever paid for labour for the fab work
Yep.
and the tuning and whatever. And also I built this car as I was growing, so I don't have any
Yeah.
product endorsements or
Yep.
Yep.
that was all just me trying to build my own car.
Just the little things
Yep.
and
Yeah.
adding it up.
I think it's really only been in the last 6 months that a lot of the things on the 76 have been product endorsed too. So
Yep.
Yeah.
definitely grateful for what I have gotten in the short time that I have been receiving it. But
Yep.
you know, if roles were reversed now and I was rebuilding the cruiser with product endorsements, it would cost me significantly less.
Yep.
And
Oh yeah, 100%. But you'd also have to pay back in content and whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
People think it's free, but the amount of time
Nothing's
that comes
free
out of
these
my
days.
day,
Yeah.
like making videos, it might seem like something so simple to people that watch, but
Yeah.
the effort that I go through to, unbox and then video and then go through and edit it and then make sure that I'm happy with it. If not, I've
Yeah.
got to go back, get another clip and
And pretend that
Yeah.
you're just opening it again. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
shout out to Savage. That was heaps of times I've done that. Yeah. But
I thought you were too savage.
Fuck you
Yeah,
too,
I am.
Savage.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, this heat wave. sponsored.
Heat wave or nothing, bro.
Yep.
No, they're not sponsored yet. Not on here anyway.
All right, yeah, don't worry about it. So we're all good. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like some things work out really good for you, and then other times you still pay full price. And
But also, we've like the brands we run in our cars is probably they're up there. Like you can do what we've done for cheaper.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
just
100%,
with
100%.
smaller brands and
Yep.
less known or trusted or whatever. But
Yep.
yeah,
Is
you
there
want to
any,
do it once and do it kind of
Yeah.
right. I don't really want to touch it. and I'm-
you still want to work with people that you like and back that isn't just going to
Yeah.
be a sellout on advertisement.
Yeah, well, that's the
100%.
thing. Like when you're buying a lift kit, you can look at Superior. They got a kit for 10 grand for a
Yeah.
Hyperflex kit, which is what I run in my current patrol and what I will be running in the next one.
Yep.
But 10 grand, people look at that and like, bro,
Oh
no,
heck,
no, thank you. But then you go look at like Iron Man. They're like, oh yeah,
Go
get that for
to
2
to
grand.
Fulcrum. I
Yeah,
bought
Fulcrum,
my
600
Ranger. I
bucks.
bought a Fulcrum kit and it was like $1,000.
Yeah.
Front struts, rear leaves, on the road, good to go.
But that
Right.
is just lifting your car the 2 inches. It does nothing
it's
else for you.
Nothing performance or any of
No.
that sort of shit. It's just
yeah.
there to look good.
It's no
hold a
control
little bit extra
arms,
weight. Like
No lines, yeah.
yeah.
So
There's-
you got to go with the trusted people that have been around for a bit and
Yeah.
and
they're
I
on-
think
they
pick
know
the
what they're
company
selling.
that you want to set yours up for. Like
Yeah.
J-Max, I've seen what J-Max does in your car. Like it's incredible. Me personally, J-Max can't achieve the things that I want to do
Yeah,
out
no.
of it. So
No.
that it was
Yeah.
never an option for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
But
heavy hauling blokes.
yeah, not
Yeah.
even that, but just like your car as a daily, how comfortable it is, and
Yeah,
just everything.
differences.
Yeah, it's completely different. You can't
Yeah.
even really compare them. So
Yeah. And then
pick.
that's like the three or four main names that stand out, like J-Max Superior, J-Race, all them. They've
Yep.
all got a kit that works for different type of needs.
100%.
You'll see every man and their dog, and I know you do it, we like shit stir about it. Oh, and ours is the best, or theirs is the best, theirs sucks, ours, like...
Yeah.
It goes around in circles,
If you
but
get
you can only evaluate that of what you've experienced and...
Exactly.
Well, if
right.
you get a kit and you're happy with it, like why is it shit? There's
Yeah.
no need.
Yeah.
And
No
it's,
reason for
it's
it
the
to be
same
shit.
as my relationship with J-Max. I went out, I did my research, I went around, I talked to all the companies. I eventually, in the day, went to the company that treated me the best customer service-wise, because when I bought the kit, I was an absolute nobody.
Yep.
Didn't expect anything, just
Yeah.
I had the money, wanted to go buy a kit.
Yep.
And then after service sales, and then just backing a company that I was like, you know what, I'm really proud of this company, put up a post, really stoked with this kit. And then the owner sees that and goes, fuck, we really appreciate that. Like,
Yeah.
and then it just grows that connection with the company. And I won't say their name, but you know, I'm thinking of, they fucking hate me. And
Yeah.
it's just like, well, why? And then flip stories 3 years now. And best mate Andre is now basically in a situation where that company could be a huge help. And because of my name, there's no.
Yeah.
It's
not,
like,
not
it's a
interested.
shit way to build an industry, but
Yeah, just because
Yeah.
you're partnered up with their
Yeah.
opponent kind of thing. Like,
yeah. And it's just, it goes down to customer service and their public relations at the end of the day. And
yep.
I'm going to stick my money where my mouth is. I'm not going to work with a company that's going to treat everyday customers like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to
yeah.
try and be better than someone else. Kind
Yeah.
of thing. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And completely off topic, but shitting on another company to make your company look better is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh,
done.
100%. And yeah, I think I can speak for both of us when I say that we'll never support somebody that's that's going to go out of their way to try and shit on somebody else to make themselves look better.
Yeah.
So, and that's across the board, I think, with anything in general.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't be a shit person.
But we're also looking to open our own company, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
you still want to have good relationships everywhere.
Oh, across
That's
the
true.
board.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
So, what about the brands that you're already associated with now? Like, do you want to
Well-
list a couple of them?
Oh,
or-
yeah.
as
Or
long
they
as
secret?
it's- No, no,
No,
we
not
can
secrets.
we can talk about it, but is it
Yeah.
alright to talk about them on your potty?
No,
it's not
go
gonna
for it.
clash?
This is your potty.
Yeah. Well, I think one of our biggest and first ones was probably EcoX gear.
Yeah, EcoX Gear gave us those speakers.
Yeah.
That was 100% our first combined one
Yep.
because they reached out to me and I was like, it'd be sick to have these running in both our cars.
And this is
Like-
when we were first kicking off Locked and Loaded.
Yeah, because they're compatible. They can, what do you call it, connect to each other.
Yeah.
And like when we're
Yeah, that
camping and
feature's
stuff.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, this would be sick. And they jumped on board and they were keen to give Alek one as well. So yeah, that was
Yep.
our first one.
And just to deal with them again was super simple, super easy.
Yeah.
And they FaceTimed us and like did a full video call.
Yep.
Like sussed us out kind of thing.
Yeah, well, they did the exact same thing with Andre. Like, he's teamed up with them.
Yeah.
I'm not. I didn't choose to because I was just like, it's not for me yet.
Yeah,
I
got
was
no
like,
use
we'll
for it.
work on that when we're ready to go with it. But I was there for the interviews, everything. I was like, super
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's like
company.
a proper about their business.
Yeah.
Yep. And I know there's been a few people on the potty that are also sponsored by them, and I'm sure
Yep.
they talk highly of them as well. 'Cause
Oh,
they're,
huge.
it's wicked. Yeah,
Yeah.
great company to work with, work for, and their products. Not that we're paid for this, but they are unreal.
They are fucking
They,
good.
they are. They
They're
are sick.
good. They're sick.
And there's nobody else really in the market that's even remotely close to releasing something with the same quality. And
The biggest standout is like these days is waterproof, dustproof, like mud,
Well,
ocean, all that
yeah,
sort
chuck
of
it on the
stuff.
back of your
Sand.
tray and go.
literally chuck it in the boat, hook it up to your 12 volt
Yeah.
when you're out, you know,
Deep sea
100k
fishing,
offshore.
14,000 Ks off.
Yeah, and it's sweet. It loves it, and you just give it a
flick the
hose
switch
off.
and
And they
she's
got
on.
party
Yeah.
lights.
Yeah, and they got built-in lights.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out EcoX, buddy. Our next, probably biggest sponsor that's looked after both of us would be CSS Touring.
No.
Yeah,
I think. I
Yeah.
think with our tents,
they gave us
Jobs.
tent, or he's given us tents.
270
Awnings.
awnings.
He's still making the mounts for the awnings, so we haven't mounted them up yet. But yeah, we've used the tents and they're sick.
They
Yeah,
are so
nice.
good.
Super
Um,
comfy. They
Yeah,
look
I,
good.
I won't mention my previous brand. The people that know it, it's all over my Instagram. You'll see what I had.
Yeah.
Very similar design, but the CSS tent is tenfold comfier.
Yeah.
I think just the little minor details, like with the LED strips on the inside, the power bank that you've got, it's all on an Anderson plug underneath
Yeah.
the car. Just
Takes 5 seconds to plug the whole thing in.
Yeah,
and
And
it's
the
it's
just-
out.
nicest thing I found about their tents, the fatter steps on the ladder.
yeah,
Oh,
100%.
and yeah,
So much better.
upgraded ladder from factory.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Just the little
they're
things
just
that
comfy.
matter.
They're
Yeah.
just comfy. They're nice. I threw a big thick mattress topper in mine.
Yeah.
But I had that in my previous 10 as well, and I thought that was
So
an
do I.
absolute game changer.
Yeah.
He's got the same, and it's a night and day difference. But even still, like that mattress that they come with, it was huge.
Yeah,
It's like
it's-
75 mil or
It's
something.
a thick
massive.
boy, like
Yeah.
way better than any other tent or swag that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And
it's just a nice feeling.
Same sort of
It's
thing.
got
like,
windows up top, so if it's raining, you can close all your windows down the bottom
You still get breeze.
and then open
Yeah.
the top one. Which
360-degree awning, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
yeah,
little
yeah,
things.
yeah.
But it's just one of those things. Like we're happy to work with these companies because they don't only put out good products,
Yeah.
but their customer service not only to us but other people, because we see who they deal with and
Well,
the customer
yeah.
feedback. It's just good
CSS also reached out to us when he first started
with steering wheels.
and
yeah.
so we both ran his steering wheels.
Yeah, same
And
as I
then-
am now. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's-
well, you can probably talk for them. They're
Yeah,
a great
it's
thing.
Fucking great. Yeah.
and they're still like he still reached out to us. Basically, we've been working together since he first started.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's still like keen to work with us and
Especially he's a brand that he's done one thing really good, and I'll give it to him, is he's reached out to every big creator. He's put himself out there. He's made those public relationships.
basically put
And-
himself like his business on the line. Like if that
Yeah.
failed, he's just lost so much money. But
Yeah.
There's a massive risk, massive gamble.
Huge.
Looking at it from the outside.
But
and
it's basically just
You
donated.
can't not go anywhere now and not see his name, or
Yeah, well, everyone
someone
knows
mention
him.
his name, and everyone
And-
knows him, and it's a good way of marketing a business. He's done
And no
well.
one's got anything bad to say about him. Like
No.
he's good at what he does, and he's up till 1 o'clock in the morning getting orders out.
Dude, I've seen
it's
stories at like
actually
4 a.m.
insane, eh?
He's still up, just fitting tents, buddy, in the shop, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
you're mad.
yeah, like dude, just go home.
It's
Yeah.
driven and dedicated to his brand. Like,
Yeah,
good
he's
on him.
not it,
Giving the people
he's
what
not
they
a
want.
big personality behind a camera or anything like ourselves are, but all his job is
he's just- yeah.
pushing a brand. He's got his builds, and then
The
it's
man
doing well.
can hustle.
Yeah,
I'll give him
he's
that.
got the
He's
hustle.
hustling.
He's
Yeah.
hustling, and he's doing a very good job at
Yeah,
it.
it's hard to do. And
Yeah.
that's where
Oh,
people
yeah.
don't see. People are going to look at him in 2 or 3 years' time and go, "Oh, must be nice." Like
Yeah.
that saying, "That must
Exact-
be nice." Like,
Well,
oh, this
even
look
where
cool.
he's at now.
Go back to the 7 months he's just done straight working till midnight.
Yeah.
Well, at
You
the
aren't
moment,
doing
like he's
that.
still just working for himself. But yeah, in
Yeah.
a couple of years he'll have however many workers for him, and he'll just be chilling at home.
He's killing.
camping
He's
and-
already killing it anyway. Though.
Yeah, he's doing it great.
Good on
He's-
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unreal.
Right, moving on. Cheers,
Moving
Hux.
on. Yeah,
Yeah, we got a few more, but
a couple of questions we'll zip through.
we won't really dabble too far into. any
Oh,
of the
yeah.
Yeah.
big sponsors. Tech for Tours, actually. Should probably
yeah.
Yeah,
mention
Tech
that.
Materials
Yeah.
are doing lights and
Um,
audio systems, and actually steering wheels for the future builds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which
But
is
that
cool.
doesn't clash with CSS because he's moving on to more touring setups.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a bit of a discussion about that.
So yeah, because
so
they
we
were
made
kind of
that
like doing the same kind of stuff, lights and steering wheels. But
Yeah.
he wants to move on to bigger and better touring setups, and Tech for Tours are still doing us lights and steering wheels. So
Yeah, nice.
all suits us.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's nothing bad about having multiple integrating brands,
Yeah.
as long as it's previously stated before one comes on board
Well, it's sick that
between both teams. So
they also like they're happy to work with us when they
Yeah.
know that the other ones like they were probably opponents at once
Yeah.
upon a time, like trying to fight for
who knows?
be cheaper
Yeah.
and be better, whatever. But now they're like,
It's all
yeah,
working
whatever.
out.
Well,
I'm happy for you
perfect
to work in.
example for myself. I've got Night Fabrication and LJ Fab fabrications.
Yeah,
Like one's trays and
fabrication
canopies,
companies.
Yeah.
one's doing snorkels.
Yeah.
2 fab companies, but
yeah,
still
It's-
working with them. One's not trying to make trays, the other's not trying to make snorkels.
Completely different
works
market.
out.
So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's same industry but completely different market.
But
So
they're both at that stage where they're still early on, where they might grow to be able to do that. It's still not going to affect any
it's not going to clash.
relationship.
No, that's right.
yeah. It's the thing.
What flicking through these questions, why a 76 over a 79? This is more based towards you.
I guess that's not me.
Yeah, no, I can answer this quite easily. There was never really a thought in my mind over a 79.
Yep.
Didn't ever want the ute. The single cabs are too crammed. There's not
Yeah.
enough room in a single cab for myself. The 79 Dualies, their wheelbase is far too long. I don't
Yep.
think that they were never going to be a viable option anyway. And I knew that if I was going to get a 79, what I'd spend on a canopy would well outweigh, because it would have gone straight to Norweld for a train canopy setup.
Yeah.
And I think their starting package for what I was looking for was around the 30 grand mark.
Pretty much.
And I've well and truly achieved a similar package out the back of the wagon for a lot less money.
Yeah.
But yeah, the two big contributing factors was wheelbase and what I was going to do in the back. So
Yeah.
I did it a hell of a lot cheaper in a wagon. I've always loved wagons. I still always will.
Family car.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
76 over 79. And I've always loved the look of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
There you
me.
go.
It's basically just a GQ, but newer.
Yeah, I know. I love GQs.
Yeah.
They're great cars.
Yep.
Pretty similar.
Box
Yeah.
Just
setups.
chop the front off.
Yeah,
You'll be
that's
fine.
right.
Yeah.
It's a good little thing.
Yeah. We'll skip that next one because we sort of already
Yeah.
We've been over
answered
that one.
that. Yeah. Mitch, 4J in a patrol and why? Like,
That one's also pretty simple. So
Yeah.
my options when I was doing the ZD delete was 4J or FTE.
yeah.
And FTE is 20 grand just for motor.
Yeah.
And at the time,
Same as like LS and Barra. All
yeah,
those
well, they're
same-
all going up in price, but
Yeah.
FTE is just way expensive at the moment.
Crazy.
So dumb.
So I always wanted to do an FTE, but then this 4J popped up. It was a wreck, like
Yeah.
a full Ute wreck for $1,500.
Hmm.
So I bought that with the motor, ripped that out, and then parted the rest of the wreck out for more than $1,500. So I've got a free motor basically.
Sick.
But I didn't know the condition it was in. He said it ran, whatever, but like I never saw it ran
Mm.
running. So I rebuilt that over a couple of weeks and then chucked it in
Yeah.
and just thought, why not? No one's really done it yet. I think I was one of the first who used the Diesel Conversions Australia kit
Yep.
and also the first S4 that I knew of. And yeah,
There you
just
go.
thought something different.
Is there anything you'd change next time with?
Yeah,
doing a
auto.
4J? Auto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would
right.
never run a manual behind a 4J again.
Yeah. Right. What is your like both your preferences like off road, on road, whatever it might be, auto or manual?
I've never had a problem with my manual. Like
Yeah.
I've got reductions, the 85 as well for low.
Yeah.
But yeah, never had a problem with the manual. But in terms of highway driving and like gear ratios and revs and all that, it would definitely go an auto behind the 4J.
Yep.
And after this, I will always have an auto,
Yeah. Right.
at least a manualised auto.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah, even just for like you're stuck on a rock face, you can just slowly let your brake off and you're you're going again.
Not trying to clutch it all and
Yeah.
anything like that. Yeah.
Plus, you don't have to worry about burning your clutch out.
Yeah.
You cannot burn a whole box out in an auto, which sucks. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
either a whole box or nothing. Like it's not
Yeah.
just gears and
But if you can find a box that's easy compatible, that's going to be cheap, why not?
well RE4s. Like they're already
Yeah.
in a patrol, and everyone
Yeah.
runs them behind everything. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, I got one in my yard. Do you want to fucking take that as well?
yeah, 100%. I'll take it right now.
Yeah, well, for me, I think a manual serves its purpose. I'd rather burn a clutch out every day of the week than do the alien gear that's inside of an auto. I also don't think that a manualised auto is any good for on-road driving.
No.
If you've ever driven a manualised auto, you'd understand. I think Mitch is silly doing manualised auto, but it'd be cool.
All
It will be
opinions
very
go
cool.
there, but
yeah. I just think daily driving a manualised auto, it's not.
You gotta
it's
get the
not
right
easy.
setup. You can't just chuck a
yeah.
manualised body on a auto and be like, yes, sick, I got a manualised
Yeah,
auto.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
for
still
sure.
got to play with it, get it comfortable for an
Yeah.
actual tourer. Like,
It's still
Yeah.
one of those questions that are never going to always be answered because, like, basically owning, besides my Ranger, I've always owned manuals.
yeah.
Living in the city,
I've
I've
never
never
had one
fucking
though.
do it again. Never
Yeah.
own a manual in the city
getting around
again.
the coast these last
But-
couple of days, I'm like, God, get me an auto.
As soon as I head out, like going to Fink and stuff this year up Cape York, I wouldn't choose anything besides a manual.
yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
just reliability. I know, like
Well, that's the other thing.
shit,
like,
it's a fan
Yep.
off grid. You know you're going to be somewhat alright. Like a battery goes flat, you can roll start the car. Like
Yeah,
just all those
that's
little
what I-
sort of
yeah.
things. But
well, that's the other thing with a manualised auto. You can
Yeah.
get them
can just
fully manualised, so you've got no TCM, you've got no
Yeah.
electronics that you're relying on, which I hate relying on electronics.
yeah, same. Especially with water and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. And
So with a manualised auto, it's still a manual. You're changing the gears yourself and whatever, but
yeah,
you got no clutch. So
yeah.
yeah.
So,
I don't know. They're a dog.
yeah, we'll
True,
see what
yeah.
happens with the next build. I might get over them too.
Yeah,
Get back to
yeah,
a manual.
yeah. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I definitely agree. They both have their place. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
This is a good question. Would you swap cars with each other?
Like permanently? Like, what is that question?
I reckon if you just swap cars and keep it as is, like you now own the Patrol, you now own the
Tell
76.
you what would be fun, but a trip where we swap cars.
Yeah, I'd be down. I'd be
Actually,
down
I'm
for
just
that.
handing out free video ideas.
Yeah.
My man.
Nah, but swap cars.
Yeah.
Well, they're pretty similar,
They
but
are pretty similar.
like permanently, nah.
Yeah,
Like,
permanently, no way.
Like it's a part of. I've built that car. I'm not just gonna
Yeah.
swap it.
I agree,
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't know what I'd do with that 76. I love
He's
that
all
car.
flustered.
Yeah,
Just be able to
I think
cry.
I reckon for like a week, like swap cars for a week, and
Oh yeah, I'd have no
or
dramas
whatever.
with that.
Like,
Like,
I'd be like, yeah, that's cool.
sick.
It'd
There we
be
go.
cool to do like a video, like you're saying.
Yeah,
and
that'd be a
swap,
sick
swap
idea.
cars for like whether it's wheeling or something, or a beach trip or whatever, and just see
of
how it
everything.
goes.
Yep. I don't think it would ever. Yeah, definitely not permanent.
Nah,
But
no chance.
that would be sick.
that'd
That's
be very
definitely
cool.
something we could look into.
Yeah.
For
Great idea. Thanks,
yeah.
Trevor. Thought of
Thanks.
that.
Shout out to
Yeah,
whoever
yeah.
that was. That's brilliant.
Great ideas.
Any tips for someone new to the four-wheel drive scene?
Yeah, as we were saying before, like
This
do it
is
yourself from day one.
basically the whole potty's just
Yeah,
top to yourself.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Don't get caught into the bullshit of what you see and try and compare to
yeah.
other people
Do it
doing
for yourself.
Yeah, my best advice to anybody is don't ever compare yourself to anybody else.
Yeah.
Don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't do it either. Give it a go. Google it, YouTube it, ask whoever you know. Get as much information and knowledge as you can. If it's something that you're passionate about, learn as much as you can about it and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I think I had a similar question in my Instagram questions, and it was like, any tips for somebody new to the 4x4 scene? I'm struggling to make friends to go out with.
Yeah.
I know down in the southeast, like there's constantly glassy days and meets and
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Just put yourself out there. I know sometimes it might be a little bit hard for somebody new, or you might be new to an area, stuff like that. But just rock up. Just
Yeah.
rock up, cruise around, ask questions, introduce yourself. Don't be shy.
Yeah, that's
like,
the biggest one, eh? Like, actually talk to people. Don't
Yeah.
just rock up to a meet and just stand off and,
just-
watch
and
everyone,
just- yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Like, talk to us or talk to whoever
Just
is there.
talk to someone like
Yeah.
they're your best
We're-
mate.
well,
Just
we're all
get to
people,
know
like-
them and have fun. Like
We're not,
there,
we're
there's
not celebrities by
there's
any
one
means.
thing
like,
I do recommend though is if I was a fresh person in the industry and I seen you, the last thing I'd recommend is go up to you and ask a million bloody
Yeah.
questions about the cars or like brands or whatever it might be. Just ask like, oh, like what are you doing? Like,
or what made
get
you
to,
do
get
this
to
kind
know
of stuff.
like the ins and outs, the unique stuff like wheeling and trips and how do you go here and like
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
the usual topics that everyday person's not going to use. Like you want to get to know that detailed information. Make the conversation interesting.
Yep.
yeah,
That it's
something
not going to
different.
be just like fuck off. I'm
yeah,
sick
not,
of
not
that.
just like every other Instagram
million
message
idea
that-
question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing to be asked from somebody as like a newcomer in is like how it performs in what environment is the best way I can describe this. Like, how did your 6-inch lift go at Cape York? Was it top
Exactly,
heavy? Was it,
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
it's a genuine, interesting question where they want to know something,
themselves or
something that actually means something. It's not,
something that's relatable.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's a good way to, kick off a conversation or something. Just
Yeah.
don't just walk up to someone and go, "What lift and tires you got?"
Yeah, and it like
A 4-inch and 35.
there's a hard one too. Is like a lot of people. I'm sure you get asked as well. Like, how do I tag along on a trip? And I answered this in one of the last
Yeah.
episodes. Is like, it's so hard because I wouldn't say we're at that level, but we're achieving to be at that level where you can't just invite any man and his dog on a trip because
It'll blow out.
you've still got an
Yeah.
expectation, a standard to what content you've got to get, what you got to film, different destinations, all that sort of stuff, and
Yep.
it's very hard. But
And the other
find
side
the
of it,
people like, especially down here, Sunny Coast 4x4, they do meets. Go to the 4-drive meet. It
Yeah.
might be at a car park, but you're going to meet someone there that's got a very identical car that you might park up next to. You're going to get to know them.
You can yarn.
Hey, let's go out for a wheel after the event because they do that. They do night wheeling
Yeah,
runs
yeah.
and all that sort of
Yep.
stuff.
well, the other side of it is
Yeah.
like, we still want to have fun. Like, we're
Yeah,
not just going to go out there and make sure everyone gets up this tracker right and
Yeah.
worry about towing someone else home. Like,
Mm.
this is still our hobby, and we want to go out with our
Yeah.
mates
Yeah.
We definitely like to enjoy it ourselves.
and just
as
our
well.
group of like our people that we like to be with.
yeah,
Like, it's not just us trying to get content and worrying
Yeah.
about everyone else who wants to come.
Yeah, some days we just like to go out and have a wheel, and it's just
Oh,
it's
all
just
the
the
time.
boys,
Yeah.
or whatever, and you respect that.
Yeah.
But I think exactly like you said earlier,
definitely.
time and place.
Yeah.
Time and place for
But
everything.
absolutely, like, come and talk to us
There will be times where, like,
if you see
I'll
us.
put online and I'll go like, all right, we're going Somerset for the weekend, or we're
Yeah.
going Double Island. Come out. That's your chance to come see us, have a fun day, whether it's on the dam or up the beach, wherever it might be, and just get to know us.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
And then there might be someone else there that I've never met that you might meet, and you might become best mates.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say, and like,
It's-
you can become
yeah.
best mates like that. You just start talking to someone.
And it's
Yeah.
the nature of the 4-drive
Yeah.
industry is it doesn't matter who they are, how old they are, what they do as a job. If you've both got a unique
Share the same passion.
share the same passion, you're going to get along.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, as long as you're not a dickhead to people and you're
Yeah.
running everyone down behind their back,
Yeah.
and
Just don't be a hero.
That's another one that
more
happens
than-
too often.
Yeah.
Don't be doing that shit.
There's no need to talk about, yeah. Talk
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
someone else.
just don't ever try to be a hero with like, you know,
Yeah.
I know there's a couple out there that go, oh, I've got the biggest Navara in Queensland. You're like, mate,
Who are you
nobody
talking
cares. Nobody cares. But, you know.
Also, don't live out of your car. Don't live out of your projects. Like, if you try and explain that in a normal way, but live off yourself. Present yourself as a person. Don't live behind your car photos. Like, there's so many people I meet, and they go, "Hey, mate, like we've been talking for ages." Like,
Never
"Oh,
seen
yeah."
it. Yeah, I've never seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And they go,
that's
"Oh,
right.
I own this car." And I go, "Oh, true. Oh, you got a sick build, man. But like, get yourself out there. Like, put your face in front of the camera. Like,
100%.
no one cares what anyone looks like.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
give a shit."
I mean, I've been
Like,
bad for that. I've only
Heck.
really started
I've
to
got
get
an
behind the
ugly
camera
mug.
this year or last year,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and only just getting used to it really. But
But I think that was a bit of a push for myself, really. I said, just do it.
Yeah.
Get behind the camera,
Yeah.
you know? And you went, fuck it. Just do
Right.
it, mate. Let's do it then. And it's been a good thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It definitely helps, and confidence grows with that too.
oh, it doesn't take long either. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
That's
it's
see
what-
videos, nothing
yeah.
better.
It's not
Yeah,
like
definitely.
the first time you post a story online of you talking about your car or your
Yeah.
trip or something, you're going to be the next bloody,
Oh, it's so
you know,
awesome.
Yeah.
Sam Miles or Mac Preston or
Yeah,
British
yeah.
Passato. Like, you're going to grow. You slowly get there. Your confidence will build with that, and it's just going to be a natural thing.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. So,
Yeah.
What else we got?
Your dream trips.
Ooh.
Yeah.
for Australia or in
Yeah,
general?
well, with the cars,
More so with the cars, but yeah, just
think so.
maybe even in general.
Um,
I don't know. Hey, you have to.
I'm really, really keen to get down to Tassie
Yeah.
in the car. I think that's...
That'd be
I
sick.
sort of
That'd be
wanted to
definitely
do
cool.
that well before all the boys had already done it, forward drive 24/7. That's something I've seen.
Yeah.
Vic High Country as well. I think Kaido sort of got me pretty keen to do Vic
Yeah.
High Country, which was cool. I've been over to WA. I flew over and caught up with the boys, and we did Esperance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not last year, year before, and that was awesome. And I'd love to get my car over there, but that's not a big rush. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm not too stressed about that. Love to do Fink as well. I just think that'd be
Come
cool
this
to get.
year.
Yeah, like
Let's
I
all
don't
this
see why
year.
we can't.
Yeah. We all want to go again this year. It's fucking cool out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So much to do. It's just the best way I explained it, like for last year, was it was just a 4-day party in the desert.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wicked.
right.
But
That
there's
sounds
just
right up my
race
alley.
cars going past you, helicopters at like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, they're 20 meters above you.
That's so sick.
Like, it's just wild.
Yep. But yeah,
Yeah.
Tassie would be really cool, I think.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like internationally for me, I want to go see Japan.
Yeah,
So
I
that's-
recommend that very highly.
Yeah,
It's
that's
very
me.
cool.
I've done a lot of international. I've done Canada, most of America, New Zealand 6 times. So it's not as appealing in
Yeah.
a sense. Like at the moment, I sort of rather, I've got the cruise now. I just want to get in, turn key, and go see more of Australia for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think my dream trip's just the big lap around
Yeah,
the whole
right.
of Australia and see everything I want to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not too fussed to be out overseas. Like, I want to get out and see the rest of the world, but like,
Yeah.
there's nothing that stands out to me. I want to see that place.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's just I want to see everything. So,
yeah. Australia, like
but definitely Australia first. That's
Well,
my biggest
Yeah,
trip.
for sure.
people don't realize how good we got it in our own
Oh,
backyard.
mate,
like
there is so much over here.
it's
Yeah,
incredible.
Just down the road, around
Um,
the corners.
Well, especially where users coming from, like up north, you got one of the best reefs in the world.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
Yeah.
So if you're into anything sort of around the water, like diving,
Yeah.
fishing, anything like that,
Yeah,
perfect
yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
Oh, you go to some,
Just-
even some of those
yeah.
islands like up there. You go to some
Yeah.
of them and you feel like you're in Fiji. You feel like
Oh,
you're in
it's
Bali.
insane. Yeah.
And some people just don't realise that actually exists still in Australia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They
yeah,
just
well,
see
I've-
the pictures online like, oh, we got to go to Bali.
I've grown up in the Whitsundays my whole life, you know,
Yeah.
around Macquarie
Yeah,
Whitsundays,
well, that's,
and
Whitsunday is a perfect example.
yeah, and it's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I definitely take it for granted what I've got up there because I've grown up with it my whole life. But like exactly like Mitch said, you don't realise how beautiful it is and how good we've got it up there. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that goes the whole way up. Like from Cairns north when we did that Cape York trip, it blew me away how
Dude,
nice we've got
It's,
it.
it's
Ellen
crazy
Beach.
when you can
Yep,
drive
England's wicked.
only a day, which like a day drive over here is insane. Like you can drive a full state.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
100%.
yeah.
Whether you head to like New South Wales, Vic, NT, like North Queensland,
Well, even if
Robe, like even Robe, you see Robe and it's just dunes and desert everywhere. Like
it looks
Yeah.
I want to
wicked.
get over to like Saudi Arabia and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that'd be really
all
cool.
that shit over there would be
Yeah, yeah.
nuts. But
well, even if we
Right.
left right now, we'd be within 12 hours of Cape York in 24 hours. Like,
Yep.
be at the start of
crazy.
the good tracks and the Creb and
Yeah, insane. Eh?
Yeah.
Like I think we did from Cairns this year back to the coast was like 26 hours or something.
Yeah, right.
Like it is a hard push.
Oh, it's a
but-
big drive. But
And then
yeah.
like even coming back from Fink was 26 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like crazy drives to do in like one hit. But
Heck.
yeah,
It's a
That's
big,
a lot.
big drive.
That's a
big,
lot.
big
That's a
drive
lot.
to do in one hit. But yeah, you just
It's
you do it
everywhere
if
is
you
drivable. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Like you don't
That's
have
the
to transport your cars.
And you set yourselves up like when we're doing those drives, we got fridges, microwaves, everything with us, so we
Yeah.
can cook and eat on
Yeah,
the road.
100%.
And
Canopies and
Make it
rooftops.
easy. Make it easy for yourself. Set yourself up for whatever you're gonna do.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely.
yeah, same as like Vic High Country, Tassie, all those spots. You want to go to the cold and the snow and all that, got that too.
Yeah, 100%, we've
Yeah,
got
you've
it
got
all.
every season you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, bloody easy.
All right.
We have some more over here.
We've got the usual guest questions, so this is the same questions for every
guest.
episode,
Yep.
every guest.
Cool.
So, if you could change one thing about the industry, what would it be?
Me, I would like to see more support between each other. So
Yeah.
less people running each other down.
Yeah.
You see it over in the States. All the boys over there,
Yeah.
if they're having a crack, they're getting supported.
Yep.
You know, they're looking after each other. Everybody's
time.
out to help each other out. They're not trying to run you down. There's no tall poppy syndrome. They're just
Yeah,
everybody's there, got each other's backs, keen to grow together.
yeah.
I definitely think that that's something I'd love to see in the industry in Australia.
I think
Whether
everyone
it'll-
would.
Yeah,
whether it'll
that's
kick
what we
off.
were doing it for. So
Oh, yeah,
we all
you
start
know.
when we're small. Like we've all got our mates that give us that support,
Yeah,
and like as you grow, you should still continue to get that support.
100%.
But
Yeah.
people are just jealous. It's just jealousy. Like
It
Yeah,
is.
100%.
And
They
it's
can't
like you
have
say,
that.
that tall poppy syndrome, it's a massive killer in
Yeah.
Australia.
Yep.
It doesn't matter who you are, what industry you're in, what you're doing, whether you've got a building business or you've got a sports car or a giveaway business or something. Like Troy Candy and Adrian Patelli are massive spokesmen for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, whatever you do, people are going to try and shit on you. And it's,
100%.
whether it's mainstream media or
Yeah.
just random people that are jealous, it's
Yeah.
it's a curse. But
it is.
over in the States, that doesn't happen.
no,
What do you see? You don't see people like us on the mainstream news over in the States because they're just doing their thing. Everyone's happy. There's
That's
no
right.
yeah, no one cares.
there's no
Yeah,
hate
like-
and
chilling.
jealousy. Like you could be
completely
whistling
different over
diesel
there,
or something,
yeah.
and people are just going to hate you because they got nothing better to do.
Yeah,
Like,
because you got too much money. Like go
Yeah.
go make your own money then.
Yeah.
That's right.
go do it. Anyone can do
Go
it.
wreck your own Ferraris.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, buy your own tank.
exactly.
One thing I would like to change would probably be like this stigma behind building a car to try and be big on social media.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Why? Why are you doing that? It's your car. You're wasting your own money right now. Like you're gonna build it, you're gonna drive it, and you're gonna hate it. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to
Just
try
because
to
it-
be better than somebody else.
yeah, and it's like all these things where people ask these questions on Instagram stories, like, "What color should I paint my car?" or whatever. It's like, yeah, get it for ideas, but don't just do
Yeah.
like the most said thing because that's what people are gonna
Yeah,
like. That's what people want
exactly.
to see.
It's
Stop
yeah,
clout chasing, basically.
Yeah,
It's a hard one to put together.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Yeah.
It's
basically the best advice is like build your car for you. Like
yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah, you see it too often, and 70 series are the worst for it. Everyone buys a 79 and think they're going to be the next big
yeah, 6-inch
rich
lift,
thing.
37s.
Yeah,
I should be
And
Insta
it's-
famous by now.
What
So-
a hero.
you should be.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't work like that.
It's
You've,
like-
you've still got to have everything there to back you up.
Yeah,
And it comes down to the
It's more to the
personality
passion.
behind the account. Yeah,
Comes down to being a good person.
true.
Once
Yeah.
again, just be a good person.
Pretty much.
yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
That's what I reckon.
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, true.
Where do you see yourselves in 1, 5, or 10 years?
Well, I think this year I see myself and my partner Skylar will be down living on the sunny coast.
Yeah.
We'll be kicking it off, trying to live around southern side of the sunny coast.
Yeah.
Just settle into things, kicking off locked and loaded, and we're just this year we'll be steadying into it.
Yeah.
Set
Set the roots.
Yeah. Get in, get comfortable. 5 years, I want to see us with locked and loaded, fully open, full swing.
Yeah.
Workshop.
Which is a shop. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
we-
planning on opening a shop, not
wanna
just
Yeah.
content.
yeah, it's
YouTube.
not just going to be content related. We want to do a shop, and honestly, if it's working on customs cars, we hope it gets to the point where we can just have a shed where it's just us, 100% content creation, and we're just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Um,
That's 10 years.
that's I'd say that's where
In 10 years, if we could just work on our own cars and making
Enjoy it.
content is how we live,
Yep.
Like, that's an absolute goal for 10 years.
So
but
like in a perspective for you, sort of like what Patriot have done.
yeah, or
Yeah,
even
basically.
like
Even
explore
Sam.
life.
I reckon Sam Miles. Even him.
Yeah,
He's just
yeah.
he's kicking it in his shed at
Does
his
his
house.
own thing and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
just
Perfect
kind of
example.
puts
Yep.
it all on social media and
That's it. Like
see
he's
how
just
he's
chilling.
successful.
So, I'd like to see that a little bit closer, like a little bit more 5
Yeah.
years. And I think at the rate that we're going,
Oh, it's
with our
definitely
growth,
achievable.
It is definitely achievable.
But in 5 years, I definitely would say that we'll have that shop open because we
Yep.
want to do that either way. Like we want to do,
yeah, that's a given.
want to build
regardless.
cars for people, and if you come in with a stock Hilux, you want to be able to leave like with everything basically you want done.
Give you the right advice that's not going to be non-biased. That's-
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
You know,
right.
if you're going to be doing a touring thing, don't go for a crazy wheeling flex setup.
Yeah,
If
well,
you're
we're not
gonna
just going to be like
We don't want to
Yeah.
bump steer people either, and I think that's something I've always strived for, regardless. Anyway, I try to treat everything as fair as I can, and just give people the best advice possible for what they want
Yeah.
down the
Yeah.
track. And I think between myself and Mitch, with the knowledge that we've got, regardless between both of our builds, upcoming builds, and everything else, I think we can only share that. And
and we've still got shitloads to learn. Like
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll never knock that back. There's plenty we both haven't done. So
yeah, and still don't know. So
Yeah.
but that,
very good.
that's us.
Yeah,
Good answer. Number 3, we've got 2 more left. If you were to own one car for the rest of your life, what would it be?
patrol.
You answered that
No,
quicker
straight
than
up.
most people.
Straight up, or I don't know. In reality, I'd love a Yank tank, a big
Yeah.
truck, or a Silverado or something.
F250 for me.
But like,
Yeah.
you're not going to do Cape in an F250.
I've already done it. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm living life lavish in my
Nah,
F
so
truck.
I reckon like a nice patrol ute,
Yeah.
canopy set up, can drop the kids off to school,
Yeah.
but can also go to Perth. So
Yeah, nice.
like something that's all rounder.
Yeah.
I don't-
I want to flip this question into like a two-sided thing. If there was no street laws, nothing like that in Australia, what would you drive then?
Oh,
See,
F truck.
Yeah,
Mine would be
100%,
just
100%
get like a
Yankton.
mad pre-runner trophy truck, something like
Yeah,
that, just
yeah.
because it'd be fucking sick to rip around. in, like.
100%.
probably like I reckon like a Tundra. even.
Everyone's had those thoughts where you see a big like hump in the street or something, you're just like, imagine if I could
I
hit
could
that at
jump that.
90 and jump
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
reckon
still
it's-
want an Effie. It's just never been in a budget for myself.
Yeah, they-
Well,
what,
like, I'll-
200,
yeah, they're
250 grand now?
210 landed, so
Crazy.
that's starting. So yeah, it's not going to be in a budget for a hot minute, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's me. I've got one in a
Nice.
specific
Yeah.
model exactly in mind that I know that I'd want.
Yeah,
But
definitely a Yank tank. Like,
Yeah. No,
they're
wicked.
sick. Hey mate,
Well,
what was that?
big wolves awake.
Shout out to Hux, the big bullfed.
Every man's best friend.
Yeah,
Good bloke this time.
Rossi's best mate.
Yeah. But the best advice you've ever been given?
It's a big one.
It's always hard to pick off the top of your
Yeah,
head.
it's a lot of advice.
Yeah.
You get shitloads of advice over the years that you don't even know.
I think the best advice that I've been following most recently, this is just over the last couple of years, is don't settle down quick.
Yeah.
Don't jump into buying a house. I've done it. Don't jump into buying a house. Don't jump into settling down. Go and live your life.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Get out there. Go explore. Go touring. Go do Cape York. Go and do Perth. Go friggin' do 12 months over in Europe. Whatever you want to do. Whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
Don't settle to pump all your money into a life you're going to be living for the rest of your life. Like,
Yeah. Don't follow the chain and
oh, slack to be in 30 years mortgage and just living a very mundane, boring life just to keep up with everybody else.
yeah.
I want to get out. I want to enjoy things. I want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit around and just be.
But
paying a
also,
mortgage.
like, you got to earn what you can get, kind
Yeah.
of thing. So, like, you can't just sit around and expect money to pop up in your bank account and go to Maldives
Yeah.
tomorrow. Like,
Oh.
you got to go work for that. Work for 4 years to have that 4-week holiday where you're
Yeah.
money free. Don't worry about what you're spending.
Mm.
So
But-
nothing comes free. It's
no,
probably-
nothing's ever free. But yeah, enjoy life. I think.
Yeah.
Enjoy life. Don't rush into things.
And make the most of what you got.
100%. That's that's the best advice I've ever been given, and I'll continue to keep doing it until I'm ready to settle
Very
down
good.
at the ripe age of maybe 70. So,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Easy. I'll plug your socials one last time and
Well, for both of us, at Locked and Loaded. 4x4.
Yeah, Locked and Loaded 4x4 on YouTube and Instagram.
Yep.
With
and
an
then,
N, like letter N.
Yeah,
Yeah, the letter N.
Capital
Sorry.
N,
that one.
Loaded.
And then, yeah, myself, at Alek Shaxson. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, all the rest of it.
And I'm just at Mitch_gun on TikTok, Insta.
Easy done.
We've only got the combined YouTube, so don't have our own.
Yeah. No, simple.
Perfect.
Appreciate it, boys. Thanks for coming on.
No
Happy
worries.
days.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you. Have a good one.
See you later.
Hey, what should be?
Cheers, legends.
Shackers.